don't work before 10 in the morning and never after 4:30 in the afternoon.
Sniffy. Oh, they were going. The Daily Telegraph liked it so much they put it on the front page. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see that?
No, I missed that.
Hey, my copy of the Daily Telegraph today.
Yeah.
Was they had about 4 pages that weren't printed, and you know which pages they were? That's right. It was about the police sending the dossier on cash for honours to the Crown prosecution. So those were the pages that weren't printed. Suspicious or what? I thought, And you know who's going to decide on all of that? That's right, Tony Blair's close, personal, in fact his oldest mate and mentor. He's going to decide whether Tony and his friends are guilty or not. So that's fair.
Are you a bit sniffy tonight?
Well, just for some reason, just now, yeah, not really, not ordinarily, no.
Bit of hay fever, perhaps?
No, nothing like that, no.
Oh.
So the news of this week, of course, has been dominated by one story, and that is that Lucy screwed up my podcast again last week.
I knew. I can't get away with anything with you. I've had Ian Lee having a go at me about it last night.
Quite right, too. Thank you, Ian.
Oh, dear.
I mean, I'm not here to apportion blame, but it was your fault, Lucy, yours.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hiccup.
Oh, God, here we go. Here comes the excuse.
But
it was like that when I got
now.
here. Nothing to do with me, Governor. Take a letter addressed to your husband. Dear Mr. Lucy, your wife is a very bad Lucy. I don't know how you put up with her. Well done. Underline well done. I want you to administer some form of punishment.
Okay.
That you see fit. I can't because she keeps threatening to kill me.
Don't touch me, or I'll kill you.
Okay, so I decide...
Yours sincerely, Mr. Nick.
Lovely.
That'll teach you.
That will. I'm sorry. It was fixed very rapidly, did you notice?
No, neither did anybody else. How many downloads did I get last week? About 2, I bet.
Well, it was fixed by the following night. So...
Yeah, but all the downloads come in almost immediately are finished, right?
Yeah, but it was obvious it was wrong. Basically...
Yes.
I was putting a few of them through on the same night, and they seem to have got mixed up in the channels.
Oh, right. Nothing to do with you, then. Not your fault.
No. And so yours became the psychic show.
Funny, I knew you were going to say that.
Very good. Well, you know, it's just an extra push for the show tomorrow night.
And for everybody that missed last week's Super Show on Saturday, probably the best show I've ever done. And Lucy I might as well just have set fire to it.
Well,
for all the care and attention you lavished on it.
It's there now, and maybe I'll highlight it as the best show you've ever done.
Yeah, ever.
So that people are drawn to it.
Tonight's show, on the other hand, is going to suck out loud.
Oh. What, you're already deciding that?
Yeah, I'm reviewing it. It'll be on the front page of tomorrow's Telegraph.
Oh, I won't bother doing the podcast then.
Yeah, screw it.
Fine. We're lucky to have Alex here tonight, you know.
Why is that?
He nearly was doing a bunk.
What?
Yeah. Sick, he says.
Sick? You don't look that sick to me, mate.
Oh, look at that. And you know what? I've got to put up with snotty tissues on the side. Isn't that
She's
awful?
so perfect.
Oh.
It's
I think it's disgusting.
Little perfect Lucy in here. Can't have anything out of place. They're over on my side.
Can't have anything out of place?
Dirty tissues.
Apart from everything that she's responsible for in her job.
Thanks.
Well, what's the matter with you, babe?
With me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, just a little bit ill.
Oh, well, at least you don't have to do anything, eh?
Exactly, that's what I thought. I just come in, sit down.
No one has any idea what you do. We seem to be...
Especially me.
We've got a spare man here, Luce. Every week he's sitting there. For why? No one can figure out.
Doesn't even make the tea. Go home.
You might as well sit outside in that giant pile of car that you drive in. For all the good that you're going to do in here, but at least you showed up.
True.
Thanks, mate.
That's right.
So are you well?
Oh, yeah.
It's your show.
Well, I'm tired.
Oh.
Are you?
Yeah. Shut up.
Busy week.
I've been rushed off my feet.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
Up early?
Well,
7?
Yeah, sometimes I get up at 7.
Okay.
But that's just when I wake up. That's not when the alarm goes or anything. That's just, because I go to bed at 8.
Okay. Oh, dear.
I've been working every single day for about, so far, a week.
A week?
Yeah, and then again tomorrow. I've done a couple of doubles. Tuesday or Wednesday was a double, whatever it was. Thursday it was. And today's a double. And then tomorrow and Monday. And then do you know what I'm going to do? Nothing.
And when you say you're going to do nothing...
Yeah, I do mean
nothing. Are you
nothing.
literally going to be like a vegetable?
Here's the plan for next week. Yeah. And this is what I do normally anyway. Get up. That's the most important part. Have breakfast, porridge, and it's my breakfast, it's almost embarrassing to say it, porridge and a cup of hot water with some lemon squeezed in it. This is what I had when I had my near-death experience, because my doctor told me not to have any coffee or tea or anything like that, so what's left? So I had, water with some lemon squeezed in it. And after a while you get hooked on it, and I can't face the day without it now. So you have that, and then you watch a little bit of TV, and after which, after about half an hour, I'm completely exhausted, and I go and have a nap.
Because you've got yourself so worked up with it.
Yeah.
Right. But the hot water and lemon is often good for people on a diet.
Is it?
Yeah, it kind of gets you charged in the morning. It makes everything...
How can that possibly get you charged? There's nothing in it.
Well, it gets everything going.
Coffee with 6 sugars will get you charged.
No, I mean, like, it'll get your insides going. Get them charged.
Oh, I see, for your happy morning sit-down.
Oh, gosh, do we have to say that?
Well, that's the nicest way I can think of saying it.
No, it's kind of making it really obvious.
Well, the day doesn't start before it.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't.
Oh, no.
It's
we
true.
can't talk about this. We can't. We're 10 minutes in.
Well, the happy morning sit-down might be watching last night's television. You're the one that's running away with it. I'm not saying anything at all.
Okay.
Well, you disgust me, Lucy.
Don't put it on me again. I'm always to blame. I'm the head of blame.
Yes.
It's not fair.
Well, it's true, and I bet your husband's sitting at home applauding.
He's probably drinking himself. Stupid.
Trying to dull the pain.
Yeah. It's his only time off when I'm at work.
Hey, how's your dog coming on?
He's very well. He's been to his next puppy class.
Oh, God. Can you believe this, Alex? She takes him to puppy class. That's about the most middle-class thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's really not.
He's getting a puppy Asbo, though.
Yeah, he's not very good. He was the worst puppy.
Well, you know who I blame?
The parents.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, we probably are to blame, but apparently he's very hyperactive, more hyperactive than all the other little pups.
Right. It'll be all that Coke he's drinking.
Oh, we got him a little bone yesterday. That was very exciting from the butcher's. Actually, it's a big bone. It's nearly the size of him, and he never looked so excited in all his life. And when he carried it, it nearly pulled his head off. It was so heavy, but he still dragged it around the house.
Well, he thinks he's made his first kill.
Probably.
I mean, it's much more exciting than those pouches of food you probably... I bet you serve him food in pouches, don't you?
I do not.
Moist, meaty chunks.
Oh, no, he's not allowed anything moist.
Huh?
No, it's not good for his teeth. Little Yorkies have little tiny teeth, and you need them all the baby teeth to come out properly. So you have to always give them biscuity food, otherwise they get decay.
Well, then just pull the teeth out.
Well, no. Apparently, when you get them neutered, you can get the vets to pull out the rest. That's quite a good way of doing it.
Pull out the...
rest of the teeth.
Oh. Why would they do that? What, as a twofer?
Well, I suppose it saves... yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Why would they pull out his teeth?
Because he wouldn't have to feel the pain of it then, would he?
Feel the pain of what?
For having the teeth pulled out.
Oh, I thought you meant the
he'd be
neutering.
under.
Like, you pull out the teeth
either.
at the same time that he's being
Imagine
neutered.
when he comes round though.
And then he's so busy concentrating on his teeth being yanked out his head, he's not thinking about what's happening behind.
Yeah. I think you'd think about that more than your teeth, wouldn't you? Oh, it'd be a shocker when you wake up though, wouldn't it? What's happened to me? I've got no teeth.
Yeah.
And, oh no!
All the fun parts have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea though. Frankly, it's embarrassing when people come round.
Hey, I saw the funniest thing ever, which I probably can't talk about at all, but there's a dog toy that you can buy. You can buy a dog toy that will take care of that.
Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are they encouraging this?
Well, it's going to do it anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, that's too awful.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, God.
It actually looks like a piece of modern art, because it's shaped in the form of a dog, but in the way a dog would look if it was done by the name of that crazy American artist who married that Italian stripper. What's his name? He married Il Cicciolina. How can I remember her name and I can't remember his? He used to do silver bunny rabbits. Bunny rabbits that looked like they were silver balloons, but it was actually metal.
Oh,
that
right.
crazy nut job who photographed himself lying naked next to his wife. What's the name of that guy? He was like a modern-day Andy Warhol. Anyway, the dog looks like it was... Or Mark Newson. Mark Newson, who does those blow-up chairs and those funny watches. Got no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, it looks like a designer dog.
Right.
For the dog.
So it actually looks like it's the size of a dog?
It's the size of a dog, and,
Oh.
yeah, they love it, apparently.
Oh, no.
You can buy it on the net.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am, yeah, I saw a picture of it this week.
How did you find out about
It was
this?
one of these daft mail-outs, like, Pop Person, or, the other one, Holy Moly, something like that.
Pop Bit, whatever.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
dear.
very unpleasant, those two things. No one should ever read them. They've got nothing positive to say at all. Mind you, there's nothing positive on the net, ever, is there?
No, it's
All of
funny,
these people
though.
who spend their whole lives busily tapping away in chat rooms, they haven't got a single positive thing to say amongst them. Stop typing and get out and make an actual friend. The people that you're conversing with on the net aren't your friends. You don't know them. Life is passing you... This isn't a rehearsal, and you'll be amazed how quickly it goes. You'll turn around and you think, blimey, 50 I am, and all I've done is to spend my life typing away on the World Wide Wait to people who I think are my friends, but they're not. Go out and make an actual friend. You never know, you might get laid. Speaking of which, Mother Nature has gooed all over my car. My car, I can barely get in my car, it's so sticky.
Oh, it's
Because
horrible,
I park it
isn't it,
underneath a
this time?
tree, and it's a different colour now.
Is it that purple stuff as well? On the berries?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh.
Yeah, Mother Nature is having sex with itself all over my car. It's horrible.
You've got to get it off as well, because it takes off the layer of paint, doesn't it, off the car?
Really?
Yeah, I left it on for so long on my last car that when I went to hand it in, it had managed to remove the varnish. And they said that it would have to be resprayed, which was a very costly experience. Yeah. I wish I'd bothered to just get a little cloth and wipe it off. Won't do that again.
Oh, well, I'll keep that in mind, because I just don't bother, because you wash your car and instantly it's filthy dirty in London, which does make you think that everything that's sitting on your car is actually sitting on your face as well. Because if your car is outside and it gets that dirty just by standing there, then so do you just by walking around. Can you imagine?
Well, yeah,
I
but
bet
we
you're thinking
shower
about...
every day, don't we?
Right.
And you know what it's like when you've been on the tube for the day.
Yeah.
And you get back and you've got that horrible nose.
Mm-hmm. And you know what that is? That's right. It's the dead, sloughed skin of 100 years of people travelling on the tube.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It is, blowing up your nose. Well, that's exactly what that is. What do you think the dust is? I mean, if the dust in your front room, which presumably is wooden floored, you being middle class and all...
It's actually wood laminate.
All right.
Nearly.
So you could have got away with real wood, and no one would have known the difference.
Oh, I know.
You're
I
not
can't
you're not
lie
very
to them.
aspirant, are you? Anyway, all those dust balls. That's your skin. That is.
Of course it's not.
It is. That's exactly what that is. Well, what do you think it is?
It's dog hair, it's stuff from the TV.
Oh, right. Stuff from the TV.
Yeah, you always get that layer, you get much more dust with the more electrics you have in the house.
Yeah, but what do you think the dust is?
It can't all be my skin.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, where did you get this evidence from? You're just making it up.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that's terrible.
This
You're
is
scaring people.
Oh, this is LBC.
To celebrate Andrek's
Studio calls flashing up on the indicator.
Hey, Andy.
Hello, Nick.
How you going?
My girlfriend sits in my car a lot.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I've got an 11-year-old lad upstairs. His name's Luke, and he wanted to speak to you, but he's a little bit nervous. And he wanted to ask you... I was listening to you the other night on... I downloaded a show off the internet from another place, and you were playing an intro to... It was a Green Day song. And my lad's a very big Green Day fan, and he wanted to ask you what you thought of the new punk movement, and do you consider it punk at all?
There's a new punk movement?
Yeah, you know, you listen to a band called Green Day, and they consider themselves punk.
Yeah, but they're about 35 years old now.
Yeah, I know, but they consider themselves punk, don't they? And there's a lot of kids walking around schools now who say that they're into punk, but, like, my lad's favourite song is, like, Holidays in the Sun, and he's a big Green Day fan, but he'll say, like, he doesn't consider it punk. And I've always wondered what your attitude towards that is, because I know that you're a big punk fan.
Your lad is 11 years old, and his favourite song is Holidays in the Sun.
Yeah, it's
a song which has Nazi overtones by the Sex Pistols. I'm calling social services.
He just thinks the album is absolutely wonderful.
Well, it is one of the greatest rock albums of all time. Yeah, by accident.
By accident.
He should be listening to Fisher-Price music. You've got to listen to the Sex Pistols.
Oh, no, he's just discovered Bob Dylan. He's got to be the coolest 11-year-old I know. He doesn't like McFly.
Right.
And he wanted to speak to you, but he got very nervous.
Yeah,
well,
good.
I'll tell you what, I'll ask him.
No, that's all right. I just think it's comical that everything's been done under the sun now. I mean, what's left now to be done? I mean, I know it's difficult to think of something before it's been invented yet, but I can't think of anything that's you know, it's just music is now going around and around and around in an ever decreasing circle, such that something that was out in January will have a not relaunch. It'll come back again. By December.
Yeah, that's true.
And bands that break up this week will reform next week. I mean, at least the Police had the decency to leave it about 25 years, didn't they? Yeah, and £70 million each. Is that how much they're getting?
Apparently so, yeah.
Oh, but they're doing it for the love of it.
They must need it.
The love of the money.
It's incredible.
Well, Sting doesn't need it. The other two might.
The other two might, yeah. Yeah, because Stuart Copeland's writing music for Nintendo games.
Is he?
Bit of a come down. Yeah.
Well, he was writing music for movies, wasn't he? He did the soundtrack to Rumblefish, which is actually very, very good. In fact, the only time I ever met him is not quite the right word. I saw him striding across the news room of a place that I used to work, which also had 3 letters. That was back in the bad old days. And I said to him, from about 20 yards away, "Oh, I really like your, the Rumblefish soundtrack." And he sort of looked at me out of the corner of his eye and went, who's that moron?
I had to, because I'm a drummer myself, so I've always been a Stuart Copeland fan, and my lad was playing Spyro the other day, and the music was just, it was grating. I just couldn't handle it anymore. Please turn it down. And it come up on the credits, music by Stuart Copeland. I thought,
What is it with drummers, by the way? I mean, you people are, you blokes are nuts, aren't you?
Apparently so. But, then you've just got to look at Larry Mullen Jr., and maybe he's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, quiet and normal.
Quiet and normal, yeah.
Yeah, well, compared to Bongo he is, yeah.
Oh, don't say that. Another band that get better and better, how do they do that?
No, they don't.
Oh, they do.
What, you too?
Yeah, Atomic Bomb, the greatest album they've ever made. Pure genius.
I just can't stand anybody who wears sunglasses indoors. It's not cool. It's just daft. You look silly, mate. Take them off.
I know. I agree with you there. It's not.
And the Edge. What is that? Is that hat been actually stapled to that man's head?
Oh, he actually has a designer that designs hats for him now.
He's just got the one. Are you joking? He's had it on for 20 years.
No, he hasn't. He's got a great big collection of them, and he has a designer who designs them for him. The tighter, the better. What's underneath?
Well, we may never find out.
Oh, I spoke to you last week, by the way, and I couldn't trace Scott.
Scott?
I asked you about Scott Chisholm last week.
Oh, right.
Couldn't find him.
Okay, well, Google him.
Google him, yeah, I have. But all I keep getting is about this company that he formed, and no one can get hold of him. I've even asked Ian Collins, and even he doesn't know. Talks about you a lot, Ian Collins.
Does he?
He does.
Ian Collins is a very nice man.
Yeah, he's a very big fan of yours.
Well, I doubt that, but he's a very, very nice man.
Oh, no, he is.
Anyway, Andy, I've really got to go, because now we're talking about people from another place.
Oh, yeah, but what a place.
Say goodbye.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
This is LBC. So, speaking of music, by the way, that sailor who took his iPod into battle, you know, the hero, according to the Sun, he's a hero. According to everybody else, he's just, who is this person?
Idiot.
The entire forces are collectively holding their head in their hands. I mean, we've been made to look like dopes by some kid. And when they took his iPod away, what was his reaction? He burst into tears. Like he's 12. Royal Navy sailors are to be told not to take iPods on active duty after one was confiscated from the youngest of the hostages seized by Iran in the Persian Gulf, the Ministry of Defence said yesterday. Can you believe that they're actually going to have to ask people not to take their iPods into battle? I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it?
It'll have to give reasons why as well. It could distract you.
Yeah. It's not that they're cross, because everyone has to be stroked, and we're not admonishing you. It's not that they're cross; they're just disappointed.
Which is always worse.
After the 15 sailors and Marines were released earlier this month, Arthur Batchelor. He's Arthur Batchelor. Pin an age on that name. 80, right?
65 odd. Yeah.
That funny-looking kid who was the young. He was the only other one, apart from the woman, the top bird that the Sun got hold of. The Sun was going to go straight for the woman. Of course they were. They were just disappointed that she had a figure like that. That she couldn't become a page 3. Yeah, exactly. After the 15 sailors and Marines were released earlier this month, Arthur Batchelor, 20, admitted that he had cried after his Iranian captors stole his iPod. That is so pathetic, isn't it?
Oh, maybe he couldn't listen.
He says from the comfort of his air-conditioned studio.
Yeah.
He later complained that he was given a. He's compounded the crime here. He later complained that he was given a load of junk, in inverted commas, in return. So they took his iPod and they gave him a load of junk back. A gift bag containing books on converting to Islam, a CD and DVD which did not work, and toffees containing pistachio nuts. Well, I don't like those. And the Hugo Boss shirt he was given was a fake.
Oh,
wow,
dear.
they really are evil over there, aren't they?
He must
that
be
Mahmoud I'm mad in the head. It's like the devil incarnate. A fake Hugo Boss shirt.
So it's like a trip down the market, then.
Yeah, exactly. The disclosure that the boarding... precisely, yeah, the DVD and the CD didn't work, and the film was shot on a video cam from the audience of a cinema. This is very upset. This whole war thing is just... It's not going how it was advertised at all. Because in the adverts, of course, everyone's, yomping along and they're having tremendous fun, and it's really exciting, like a video game. But actual war, they get your iPod taken away from you. Could it get worse than that?
Yeah.
The disclosure that the boarding party's navigator went on active duty carrying an iPod caused outrage among military traditionalists. Well, you don't have to be a traditionalist to be outraged by that. I mean, it's just stunning, isn't it? But he admitted it as well. I mean, they took it away from him. The evidence had gone. But that he came back and bleated about it. That's the amazing part, isn't it? I mean, you're at war and you read all sorts of stories about people getting, happy before going into battle.
Want to score some pot?
I mean, they're all stoned all the time, aren't they? Barely a week goes by when someone isn't, at least 20 people from some regiment or other aren't thrown out because they're off their face. And, if you read or watch things about war, you'll realise that it's a bit like acting on a movie. Endless periods of boredom followed by briefer periods of buttock-clenching fear.
Yes, that's probably true.
And so they're just sitting around, they're kicking their heels, doing absolutely nothing at all. And so, you're going to want to just get ripped, because that's what you would be doing if you were sitting at home in Reading or Manchester or wherever the hell you've just been plucked from. So they just take it all over there. I mean, that's where the stuff comes from anyway, right? So it's a good job. I mean, we should count ourselves lucky that they weren't off their faces.
What a relief. The thing is, if you wouldn't you say that you'd given over something much more heroic, sort of, I don't know, a sentimental photo of your family?
Yeah. My loved ones, yeah.
Or a weapon that you had to give up. Or
yeah, like an illegal weapon that like your favourite illegal weapon. They give them the knives and all that sort of stuff, but it might have been knuckle dusters or something like that he smuggled in because he wanted to do some real damage to some Iranians.
Right, I wasn't really thinking along
Well, that would have been
lines.
better than an iPod, wouldn't it? Well, they nicked my knuckle duster.
Well, then there would have been questions asked, how did he sneak a knuckle duster in? Wouldn't it?
I would rather have been done for a knuckle duster, then I would have continued to be an hero than an iPod, in which I've been, which meant that I'd been held up as a figure of ridicule.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
They're not really picking the best of the bunch. I mean, it does sort of imply that they're really kind of desperate in the armed forces, aren't they? I mean, the calibre of candidates that they've got it doesn't really give you much confidence, does it?
No.
No, you'd have to say not. Fingers crossed, and we'll hope for the best.
Well, let's get back to it.
Hi, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Super, thanks for asking.
Good. You were talking about the iPods, with the army people. It must be pretty common for them to have them on them, because I was reading a story in the newspaper. A soldier got shot, and his iPod saved him, because the bullet hit the iPod instead of him. And when he was
Are you sure it wasn't a Bible?
No, it was the iPod. And when he was asked about it, all he could say was, yeah, my iPod saved my life, but it's ruined now, I'll have to get another one.
Right, what, the horror of war, eh?
Yeah.
Huh. I just find that incredible. I mean, you shouldn't use your iPod if you're driving in traffic.
No.
But going into war, I mean, don't you think that you would actually need all of your senses on working overtime when you're actually going into war? I mean, hearing is a fairly important one, isn't it? You could probably leave touch behind, or there's 5 senses, right? Sight, hearing, smell. Okay, smell perhaps. Or, well, you might need it for gas. Gas, quick boys, an ecstasy of fumbling. That's about the only bit of poetry I know.
I'd be too scared, I think, to do anything other than watch.
Right.
Or in war.
Well, then don't sign up, Louise.
No.
Stick with your successful move into media.
Yeah, it's amazing, though. And the guy that got captured, he wasn't worried about getting killed by these people. He was just worried that they took his iPod off him. Like, that's the most important thing. Ever. But it's not.
Yeah, well, I don't know that that's true, but, yeah. It was, yes.
That's what it seems like.
The only thing that they gave him to do was playing ping pong, and he doesn't like ping pong. He's desperately upset about that.
Oh, you wouldn't admit it, though, would you? If you took an iPod or whatever out with you.
Well, I think that was the daft thing. I mean, taking an iPod, okay, so I mean, you're out there and it's really boring, and so you want something to do, and maybe he doesn't take drugs. Good for him. Everybody, all of his mates are off their face all the time. All he wanted to do was go and listen to his music.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and
And so he was listening to stuff like that, and no crime there.
Yeah, I bet that everybody's laughing at him though in the army.
Well, I think that they're furious with him because by that we're painting them all by the same brush. But which of course isn't true.
No.
As the Sun will say over and over and over again, particularly as they're the ones that got the big story, and every time anybody criticises our boys at the front, then here comes Andy McNabb or whatever his name, Andy McNabb, right? Yeah. The Sun's defence or security
former.
Yeah.
What is it?
In silhouette. Here he comes again, in silhouette. He's still affecting to be top secret. He's not even in the army anymore. He's what passes for a journalist. Come off it, mate. Who are you trying to fool? The head of, MI5, Dame Elizabeth, is she still the head?
I don't know.
Dame Eliza Bingo Fortescue Fanar Horseshoe Driveway, whatever her name is. Her picture appears in the press all the time, and she's the most top secret person in the whole country. So if we can see what she looks like, and we can certainly see what Andy McNabb looks like, but oh no, he's always got to appear in silhouette because it's top secret.
Yeah.
Like he's a cartoon character. I don't believe he exists.
It's probably just the editor writing things down.
Quite possibly, yes.
I think if I did a column there, I wouldn't want people to see my picture. If they disagreed with what you said, they could, hit you and stuff if they knew what you look like.
Well, yes, yeah. To be if you had a column in a national newspaper, then almost by definition, you'd be pretty well off enough not to have to travel on public transport. When was the last time you saw a famous person on public transport?
Never, because they can afford to.
I think Pete Shelley, ex of the Buzzcocks, was the last person that I recognised on public transport, and that was about 10 years ago. And of course, he hasn't been, hasn't been doing that well lately. Well, not since 1977, in fact, when I saw him in Edinburgh in a club called Clouds. He was extra double fantastic, the Buzzcocks. But they don't, do they?
No.
With a very good reason that they would be surrounded by awful people. People.
Well, if you were rich and you had the money and you were famous and you knew that you were going to get hassled and you had the money to get away from people, you probably would.
Well, you wouldn't travel on public transport. That's why you never see anybody famous on the tube. Yeah. Apart from, does Red Ken travel the tube?
Oh yes,
apparently.
Well, he says that he does a lot, but he also racks up about 10 grand in taxi fares every year. So it's public transport right enough.
Yes, you're paying.
Yeah, but people can use the general public can use taxis, but it's not what I would think of as public transport. When was the last time you took a cab that you actually paid for? The prices have just gone up again, haven't they? I just find that incredible. Who on earth can afford to get in a black cab these days?
They got by 4%.
I wouldn't even dream of it. Anyway, Louise, thanks a lot.
Okay, Nick.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
What were we talking about?
Well, you went on to taxis.
Oh, yeah, Greg Dyke, that's right. Greg Dyke is going to be the Mayor of London. Why? How on earth did they come up with that name? Like, that's a name that the public are going to think, oh, Greg Dyke, yeah, we'll draw him warmly to our breast. Greg Dyke, he's the Roland Rat man, the man that went to the BBC and took over from the Dalek and still screwed it all up. Name one great programme that he did while he was at the BBC. It continued to be rubbish. Every single thing was just a copy of something that had already appeared on ITV or television in America. It was celebrity this and celebrity that, and if it wasn't a celebrity, then it was members of the general public singing in front of people who were pretending to be Simon Cowell, and the whole thing was just daft. It's true. That's what he did. And so he's going to be mayor now. Really, is that the best they can come up with? How about somebody who's not famous? How about somebody who's just, a politician? It just seems, I'm just throwing it out there. It seems like an incredible, outrageous suggestion to make, but, somebody who actually might like to do the job as a job rather than just another, click on their CV of fame. Greg Dyke, how have you even thought of that? What's he got to do with running London? Nothing.
Isn't the guy from Right Said Fred going to run as well?
Yes.
You're making that up.
No, that's true. That
Right
is true.
Said Fred.
What? Yeah.
What was there, Richard?
As the Conservative candidate.
Oh, come off it. I mean, I know they're trying to be Fairbrass. Yeah, I know they're trying to be broad and inclusive now, but that's a step too far. What?
Yeah, that's outrageous, isn't
Well,
it?
I mean, they've got Adam Rickett on their big to-do list, don't they? Although he's in New Zealand now. He was
Adam Rickett?
Yeah, that guy who was famous for taking his shirt off and appearing in a soap character.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The guy whose poster you got on your bedroom wall.
No, I have not got his poster on my bedroom wall.
Whose poster have you got?
No one's. My husband's.
Yeah, right. Your husband's got a poster.
No, he's not allowed posters on the wall.
Whose poster did you have on your wall?
What, when I was young?
Yeah.
I used to have Prince on my wall.
Prince?
Yeah. My mother thought it was very disturbing.
Well, that's revolting.
I know.
Prince?
I did adore him, yeah.
What, you wanted to have sensual interface with Prince? He's about 50 years old.
Yeah,
and 3 feet tall. Yeah,
I know. I don't know, I really liked his music, and so somehow I thought...
He looks like some sort of perverted garden gnome. Why would you be attracted to Prince?
Oh, well, I'm not now, but I still like his music, but at the time, it was kind of like, oh, yeah, he's cool.
He's weird, though, because for a brief period there, he was scarily talented. Well, he still is scarily talented, of course, but for a brief period, he was on top of the musical tree, wasn't he? He was just like the biggest thing in the whole wide world for a couple of albums, from 1999, and then he had Around the World in a Day and...
Purple Rain.
Just that brief period there. And then it was just the same songs over and over and over again. And we heard stories that he's just released an album of 12 songs, and they all sound exactly the same. But he whittled it down from 200 songs that he's just put in the studio, and they all sound exactly the same too. Really strange. And then he's...
But they're very complex. All his music is very, very complex.
Yeah, but just exactly this. They're all the same. It's the same song over and over.
Yeah, it used to be a lot edgier, I think, but now it's... Well, and also, he's changed his style so much, hasn't he? Because...
No, are you listening to what I'm saying? It's the same.
No, it's not, though. Not since he's become a Jehovah's Witness. I think it's all...
What?
Much, yeah, he's become a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
It's much more tame and...
Jehovah's Witness, are they the people that
they occasionally knock on one's door.
Yeah, that deeply unpleasant lady who was ramming sticks down a kid's throat and making them eat their own vomit. Was she a Jehovah's Witness or some other?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was some she was some sort of religious nut. Not that I'm saying Jehovah's Witnesses are nuts, but she was a nut. No question about that. And now she's in prison, of course, for dealing out little too much justice to the kids. You know, Jesus told her to do it, probably.
Oh, I see.
You're talking to her through a television. You know, one of those people.
Right. Right. Well,
I'm telling you, it's like this is all coming as news to you. You must have read that story. She was horrific to these children for a decade or more.
Well, how many horrific stories are there to read? Absolutely loads.
Yeah, I know, the paper's full of them.
What the most appalling one I thought this week was the one about the parents getting the toddlers to fight.
Those hatchet-faced, fat slags, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it, there's just character building.
Flabbergasting, I
found amazing.
It.
And the Mirror had an interesting contrast between the guy who had dogs fighting in his living room.
Oh, that's awful as well.
Yeah.
Who cut its ears.
Oh, poor little dogs.
Oh.
They were nasty, evil devil dogs, mind you, but they were still dogs who
they
had
were
been
made
bred.
to be devil
yes,
dogs.
quite right. And he's going to jail. The dog guy,
Oh yeah, this is
the hatchet-faced fat slags from Plymouth or Portsmouth, one of those P places, they're getting off scot-free, pretty much. What are they getting? 100 hours of community service. Right, so they'll sit on a park bench and chew gum and eat crisps.
Oh, and they're never allowed to work with children ever again.
Oh, great. Well, that's a great relief to us all, yeah, like they would even want to.
Yeah.
Are any of them actually in work?
Probably not.
Probably not, no. They sit at home watching Trish all day. Never did me any harm.
No, I think the worst story, the most disturbing story of the week was the dog that got his head stuck in a garden wall.
Yes.
Yeah, and a little fox did too. Yeah. Oh, little foxy.
Is there anything funnier than an animal with its head stuck in something?
Oh, you're sick.
Well, the fox got its head stuck in an old car wheel or something like that. Yeah, and the fireman came along and. With bolt cutters, because it was stuck there for days.
2 days?
Yeah, with bolt cutters, because I would have thought, well, foxes are pests. If it would have been much easier if they just sliced its head off and then pulled the body out.
Oh my goodness, that's barbaric.
Yes, that is an awful thing to say.
Poor fox struggles for 2 days with its head stuck, and then you pop along and axe its head off.
I know, isn't that awful?
Oh dear.
Well, I wouldn't do that, but I'm
get someone else to.
Yeah, if it had happened in the country, that's exactly what they would have done. But it probably happened in town, didn't it?
Probably.
The urbanites came to its rescue.
Oh, I could hear a lot out last night. And what we were trying to decide, we could hear them when we were in bed last night, screeching away.
Who? You were?
The foxes.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about the firemen.
With that terrible noise they make. But I said, that's foxes making love. And my husband said, no, that's them fighting. I
making love?
Making baby foxes.
Making love?
Well, what a...
one fox took it to a dinner and a movie.
Well, no, clearly screamed in its ear.
And the foxes can hear you talking to your husband. Go, what's that terrible screeching?
Oh, that's his wife going on and on in his ear again. Well, anyway, we were trying to decide what the screeching was, if that is making love or if that is fighting.
There you go again. They don't anthropomorphise animals. They don't make love.
Ah, they do. My little doggy gives me little kisses. He's very loving.
Oh, God. That's not making love. Yes, we're very strange, yeah. And I'd like to point out that Lucy took us into this territory, not me. Hey, have you seen your mouse lately?
Where? There on the stair. Where on the stair? Right there. A little mouse with clogs on. Where?
noises that upset you. So, foxes making love. Oh. That's the thing that upsets you the most, eh? Is that true?
Say again?
Foxes making love.
Yeah, they make love.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet love.
Well, one fox will insert its foxhood.
Oh, no, now stop it. Why do you always have to bring the conversation down?
Me?
I said it nicely.
Noises that drive us mad.
Oh, yeah.
Alex, top of the head.
People in general, I think.
Right, people.
Dear.
It's like at the end of,
Oh, come on, cheer up.
It's the illness. It's making him morose.
Yes.
It's like at the end of Soylent Green. It's people. They're people. Slamming doors. I can't stand it.
That is annoying, isn't it?
Because there was a list of things that to drive us mad. And there's a giant list here. The worst sounding sport in the world. Do you know what that is? I have the answer here.
What, that you can hear people playing in a stadium?
It's also the stupidest sport in the world.
Oh, so that means it'll probably be a girly sport or something that you...
Why would you say that?
Because you like boy sports.
No, well...
Like thuggy sports.
Well, what sports are girly? There are no girly sports.
Gymnastics?
It's not a girly sport. That's not... Well,
darts?
I'm trying to think of a male gymnast. They're all Russian, aren't they?
Bowling?
Andrei Shevchenko. He's not a gymnast, but he is Russian-ish.
We're just coming up with Russian names now.
I'm trying to think of Alexei Naimov. That guy. He's a gymnast. He's not girly.
Okay.
He'd biff you in the chops if you called him girly.
I bet he would.
Huge.
I wouldn't call him girly, but watching the sport, one might consider.
Gymnastics?
I don't think it is. I think you have to be incredibly...
I think of all the sports in all the world, gymnastics is probably the thing that demonstrates humans' ability more than any other.
What about rowing?
Oh, shut up. Rowing, they're sitting down and they're using one muscle group. They're just pulling.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no?
Incredibly
Gymnastics is being as close to a monkey as it's possible for a human to be.
Well, that's
I mean,
not
monkeys...
to be applauded necessarily, is it?
Yes, it is. Well, it shows you you're demonstrating your physicality to its maximum extent. Whereas rowing, I mean, you're sitting down for a start. I mean, you're only using your legs and your lats. And
only?
Well...
It's incredibly hard.
Stop disagreeing with me. I'm right. Whereas gymnastics, you're flying through the air with the greatest of ease, and you're being... there's no other form of human endeavour that uses your physical form to its maximum extent.
The decathlon.
It doesn't exist. Running in a straight line and throwing things, I don't think so.
Well, you do a plethora of sports then, don't you?
You just will not admit when I'm right. It must be awful living with you, Lucy.
Well, there must be other sports.
I mean, does your husband actually win any argument ever?
No.
You're like you're like that dog with a bone in its mouth. You're just going to worry it to death. Stop worrying me.
Okay, gymnastics has to be the best sport ever.
Correct. Not the best sport. It's just the sport that shows off the physical possibilities of the human form more than any other. And that's true. You know it is.
All right.
And don't just say it's because I'm insisting that you agree with me. Say it's because you know I'm right.
Well, I'm trying to think of another.
You can't.
No,
so shut up.
Okay.
The silliest sport in the whole wide world is also the worst sounding. Do you know which it is? A blight on the urban environment. There's a clue.
Golf.
Golf?
What? How did you come up with that, sick boy?
Golf?
What?
No, not golf. Skateboarding.
Oh, yeah.
The rumble, 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 clack of skateboarding. God, I hate that. Plus, even expert skateboarders, they can't do anything other than rumble, 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 clack. I mean, that's all they do. And you see those poor saps who are doing this for, it's the only entertainment that they get in their dull little lives, apart from thinking up avatars for themselves on the...
And they have to pull their pants
talking to
down
each other
really
on
low as well.
Talking to each other on MyFace and
oh, did you see that story about MySpace?
Putting video clips of them falling on their arse on YouTube. What?
Did you see the one about the girl who had her who had it put up on MySpace that she was having a party at the weekend when her mum had gone away. And basically...
Did I see it? Well, it's been...
2 weeks old.
Yeah. Oh, do keep up.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
It's in one of the papers today, again.
What?
Yeah, I was reading it tonight. And it was saying...
And that was news to you?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was brilliant.
Struth. You're supposed to be keeping up with the news, Luce. You're
why is
you're
it
in a
back in the paper
place.
today?
Well, I don't know. Maybe for people who missed it the first time. It's a catch-up.
Well, there you go. Me. I missed it the first time.
Was it a monthly roundup of the news that you...
No, it was a 2-page spread. On the mother who came home distraught to see fag butts all over her...
And you know whose fault that is? That's right. It's the parents' fault. Not necessarily those particular parents, although, yeah, all right, why not?
No.
It's because kids these days are just allowed to do whatever the hell they want, and parents will they just don't do a damn thing about it. It's true.
That is not fair.
No one's... Well, the teachers just this week came out and said... Well, no, it was teachers who were responding to an article about kids misbehaving in Pizza Express. Pizza.
Kids in Pizza Express?
Yeah, they're running around, breaking glasses and just making a mess all over the place and screaming and shouting, and someone at Pizza Express just blew their top and said, this is ridiculous. Will you please... make your children behave better, and that request was received with open-mouthed amazement by their parents, who've never lifted a finger to their children in their lives.
I thought you meant the kids had gone on their own.
No, and this is why we have the problem that we have now. And teachers were responding to this, saying, "Oh, thank God someone said it," because something like 40,000 kids are being excluded from school every year. This is before the age of 13. It's like 5 and 6 year olds. They have to ask them to leave the class because they're giving the finger the bird and swearing and just not sitting down or basically giving adults any respect at all. And it's the dumb parents' fault. It's this middle class thing that we've got right now that won't lift a finger to their little babies because they don't want to restrict their freedom of expression. Oh, and, then they just allow them to do whatever the hell they want, because they can't be bothered to say no. It's just pathetic.
Do you feel better now?
A little bit better, yeah.
You needed to have that little rant, didn't
I did, yeah.
Oh dear, well I'm glad I brought that story up. I won't do that again.
Your kids should be taken to that puppy school that you take them to.
They don't get punished there, they get treats. Little bits of liver.
Well, exactly, that's the problem. More smacks, less treats.
Well, no. We're not allowed to do smacking on the dogs.
Why not?
Doesn't really work.
How do you know?
I've tried both. So we give them little bits of liver. But I don't like it when the trainer, she sticks the bits of liver in her mouth so she can break off bits.
In her mouth?
Oh, yeah. And it's really hums, this liver. Oh, dear. It stinks, and we get little bags of it. And she doesn't mind at all, nibbling away on it. Oh, dogs love it, though. They really go mad for it. But you get the rewards, apart from with mine, who continues to jump up the entire time.
Yeah.
Ah, look at him sitting. Oh, no, he's the only dog not.
See, less treats, more smacks. You're not happy with that?
Well...
You're going to be a terrible parent. Do you mind if I say that?
Yeah, I do. Why am I going to be a terrible parent?
Because you're going to be one of these people who say, oh, well, and you'll take him over to your friend's house for a coffee morning or whatever, and he'll have his wooden ship in his hand, and he'll be beating dents in their fridge, and you'll watch him do it, but you won't lift a finger to stop him because he's expressing himself. Oh, poor little baby, and you won't tell him no, or that he's bad, or at any time ever, and he'll grow up to be a
hoodlum.
A hoodlum who takes heroin and sits in an alley all day and robs passers-by, and it's all your fault, Lucy.
What's so attractive about Madrid?
Hello, boys.
Crouch End. Hello, Chris.
Oh yes, hello.
Chris.
Yes. Did you know that crickets have ears on their knees? Isn't that interesting? And worms don't have any ears at all.
Oh.
But they can detect vibrations in the soil and react accordingly. And grasshoppers' ears are located in the middle of their body. And a frog's eardrum needs to be immersed in water, otherwise it would dry out. Now, we, on the other hand, we have ears in our head close to our brain. And so those brains are to be used because obviously we're living in serious times, and...
What the hell's that got to do with frogs and crickets and worms?
Well, because they...
I mean, if crickets have got their ears on their knees, then that implies that they should use their knees.
Yes, but we don't have our ears on our knees, do we? So that implies that because our ears are located close to our brains, and they're all very important. So
our brains are important. You've concluded that because it's near our ears.
Well, obviously, I mean, we don't have ears on our knees, do we?
No, I don't think so.
No, so our brains are not in our knees; they're in our head. Now, so obviously our brains are there to be used, and so there's lots of stuff going on, which...
Is there?
Yes, there's lots of stuff going on, and in fact, I think there's a paucity of really important things being discussed, and I agree with Lucy. Sometimes, you know, when people disagree with the presenter doesn't like it.
Quite right, too.
I mean, you know, sometimes I think, well, why invite people to ringing? Why not just rub it on,
I'll have to stop you there. I don't invite people to ring. Never.
No, but...
You've rung uninvited.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, no, it's a call-in show, but not just this radio station, other radio stations. And they scream and they shout.
Yeah.
If the person has a different point of view, whereas...
There are no screamers on this station.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, so, there are certain subjects. Now, you know that there was talk of the government legalising drugs. Now, that's a terrible thing, isn't it? A really terrible thing, because...
You know what's even worse than that?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
That we've completely run out of time. Isn't that dreadful, Chris? Because
No,
I would love to have you on for at least, what, another 20 or 30 seconds. Unfortunately...
On FM.
Oh, how happy I am to be back in the studio.
Wish it wasn't such a tight edit, but there's nothing I can do about it. Studio...
It's like clip at the end there.
Yeah. Oh well.
Not perfect, really.
No. It's the only thing about this show that isn't.
Well, I thought I'd just point it out, seeing as you point out all my mistakes.
Thanks, Liz.
It's alright.
Don't run the marathon tomorrow. It's not worth it.
Especially if you're dressing up as a monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I presume if you knew it was going to be that hot, you'd instantly say, right, ditch the outfit.
I bet they don't, though. I bet people running around in like, gorilla suits and, deep-sea diving apparatus. You crazy people.
And what will you be doing? Lying in bed.
No, I'm working tomorrow, actually. But even if I wasn't, I'd still be sitting down. Running the marathon. What the hell do you want to do that for? That's just madness. Your body is not made to run the marathon. It just isn't. Even professionals drop dead.
What about gymnastics, though?
Yeah, your body is made to do that.
Well, that's the same as yoga, isn't it?
Well, kind of, yeah. Well, it's more violent than yoga, that's for sure. I mean, yoga is just standing on one leg going om.
I always feel a bit nervous watching gymnastics, though. You know, when they're on the bar and on the rings, and you think, what if they miss? And also, I have seen a couple of the girls and boys, when they're on the horse, do those flips and land very uncomfortably on their bits.
On a horse?
You know the horse that they do the spinning around on. It's very clever, but you'd be very
clever.
You'd be very worried about an injury.
There you are, metaphorically patting them on the head. Well done.
That's what everyone's watching for, waiting for the person who goes...
Well, you could say that about any sport, particularly motorsports. Yeah, I mean that's why everybody watches, not to see who wins, but to see who crashes.
Oh,
what are you looking at me like that for?
I don't think they do. With
yes, they do.
No, because people can die with that. It's horrible.
Well, that's the excitement of it.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
boxing.
if it's ditto.
Oh, horrible, isn't it? I couldn't watch that.
Boxing.
Smashing someone's face in. It's just horrid. Have you ever watched boxing live?
Well, yeah. Not in person. I'm gone. I mean, who can afford that?
Is it very expensive to go and watch?
Hugely.
Is it?
Well, they all get dressed up in their dicky bows, don't they? It doesn't disguise their animalistic nature.
What's the point of dressing up then?
Well, I don't know. I guess it makes it seem more, seem less base.
What happens when it's over in one round? You just go home.
Well,
you feel cheated.
Yeah, then you pick up the chair that you've been sitting on and hurl it at the ring.
Snap it in 3.
They do.
Oh,
you go to a boxing match and a fight breaks out.
But when you go to a boxing match, there are lots of fights, aren't there? There's not just one. You normally pay for a series of them.
Yeah, in the audience and in the ring. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you spend £500 for a ringside seat,
you wouldn't pay that much, would you?
I wouldn't pay a penny.
No, but people do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah, for a big name fight. I mean, if Mike Tyson came back and fought, well, I don't know, it doesn't matter who he fought, then people would pay that kind of money. And if it's over in one round, if it's over in 30 seconds, then, well, you'd be really upset. You'd have egg on your face. You'd look like a fool.
Well, we wouldn't watch that then.
No.
And what was the point of that conversation?
I don't know.
I can't remember where that came from.
Well, let's work backwards.
Sports.
It was motor racing. People only go to motor racing to watch the crashes, because otherwise it's just around and around and around and around, and nothing ever happens. It's so boring.
It's supposed to be quite exciting.
No,
hearing
it isn't.
The noise, though.
It isn't, though. It's one of the worst sounding sports. I mean, it along with skateboarding. Mind you, the motor racing is kept in out of the way where no one can hear it. You have to actually pay to go and see it, to hear it. Skateboarding, on the other hand, absolute total nightmare. And I just don't understand it, because even if you get really good, all you can do is rumble along, and you, I don't know what they do, you hit the back of the thing, and you jump up, and it spins around, and then it goes back on its wheels, and you land on it. And that's it.
Well, yeah, but it's quite skillful.
No, it isn't. Big
it
deal.
is.
You could do that. You could practice that sport for 15 years, and still all you can do is rumble along, kick the back of it, it flips around and lands back on its wheels, and then that's it. And that's
surfing on wheels.
That's pathetic.
What about surfing then?
Completely different.
Why?
Well, you're going with something that's organic and moving and unpredictable.
And all you do after 15 years is still go along on the wave.
That's a silly thing to say. You know you're being daft now. Now you're just picking a fight for the sake of it. You silly woman.
No, it's the same thing.
It's totally not the same thing. How can you say that? Skateboarding is going along on a solid, immovable object, concrete. Plus, you're normally in a car park or in some sort of horrible graffiti-sprayed, subterranean nightmare of a place. Surfing, on the other hand, you're out there in the elements with, an unpredictable, organic, constantly shifting and moving thing. You might get bitten in half by a shark at any time. Tremendously exciting. I completely understand surfing.
Do you?
Oh, in fact, if I ever give this up, I'm going to... Yes, it's a toss-up between a top male model or a surfer.
Well, that's close.
Professional.
Maybe you could do both.
Yeah.
Maybe in your shots you could be surfing.
Yeah, it's a good idea, yeah. I'll do that. Hey, Jethro.
Hiya. Is it my turn?
It is.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about sport. Is chess an Olympic sport? That's a different level, isn't it? I mean, that's really quite cerebral rather than being physical and dynamic.
If it isn't, I'm sure that somebody has tried to make it so. Yeah, but like a lot of so-called sports, it's not a sport, it's a pastime. If you can do it at the highest level while still being fat, it's a pastime.
Oh. So,
And that rules cricket out, by the way.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, what about sumo wrestling? That's you got to be. You do that at the highest level, and you've got to be very, very fat.
Yeah,
to do that.
it's a pastime. It's not a sport. It's fat guys slapping each other.
I've seen it on Trans World.
I mean, that's every pub kicking out in Newcastle. That is.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, but they don't do it in a Zen Buddhist artistic way, do they?
No.
They're much more brutal way up there. And they speak a funny language up there as well.
What, English?
And okay, away the lads and things like that, don't they?
Well, there's no need to be offensive.
Oh, sorry. No, what I really want to talk about was top-line female superstars zooming around the world and adopting dependent children from third world countries.
Madonna?
Well, I didn't think she...
Mr. Syllables, just say Madonna.
Well, I think that, yeah, Madonna. I thought her name was Ciccolini from Chicago or something, isn't it, originally?
Yeah, Madonna.
Was she christened Madonna? I don't think.
I think her name is actually Madonna, isn't it? I think it is.
No, Jethro is right that she has got a different name.
I thought
she's changed it to Madonna.
Yeah.
No, I thought her name was Madonna... somebody. What's her second name?
I thought it's Italian, isn't it? She's from Italian parents from Chicago, and
I'll find out.
And she went to New York when she was 18 and got into dancing, and then got into singing.
Right. You've been following her closely.
Well, I think I saw a sort of cheap B movie about her on ITV.
Ciccone.
That's it.
What's her name?
Ciccone.
Ciccone, that's what I thought, yeah.
Madonna Louise Ciccone. See, I was right. You know, it gets numbingly tiring being right about everything all the time.
Do you think that when she was born that her mother ever imagined that she'd marry into the English aristocracy? My baby's gonna be a duchess.
Yeah. What, that guy who fashions himself as an East End gangster? That guy, yeah.
Yeah. He's found film as a pastime, isn't he?
Well, let's hope that he gives that up quickly.
Okay.
Because that movie's been clogging up my satellite movie channel, along with Herbie Unloaded. Who the hell wants to see that in high definition? Come on, will you drop that stuff? Still showing Christmas movies, they are. Anyway.
Yeah. So is it a good thing or bad thing? I mean, is she really deeply moved by the plight of these children and finds it necessary that she couldn't live with herself flying home in a private jet without a child, or is it just because she's trying to be like Angelina Jolie? Because I thought she was first did it. Angelina Jolie and... Well, who? Is it Angelina Jolie or something?
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, that one.
Close, but no cigar. I don't know, maybe it's like tattoos. Maybe they're just addictive. Once you've got one, you just have to have a lot.
Yeah, I thought that Angelina Jolie was going for... She's going for the sort of global family, isn't she? Is it her current boyfriend...
What, like Quality Street?
Yeah. No,
it's just getting a selection.
A significant symbolic child from every continent in the world.
I can't believe that they actually have to go to get them. I mean, you think that, like clothes, they'd just send a selection around and she'd pick their favourites.
I think, because she's a UN ambassador as well, I think, Jolie. I think she's deeply concerned and connected to the plight of,
What is it with these people that they feel they need to fill their lives up with all of this stuff? I mean, why can't they just sit at home and, take drugs by the pool like all the other famous people?
Be mega rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got to have a caring, compassionate side as well.
Well, it's almost like they bolt it on as part of their CV, yeah, and I don't just do movies and hang around and, suck up free stuff. I also care deeply about the environment. I drive a Prius.
Do you?
Me?
Yeah.
I can't afford stuff like that and barely afford the bus fare here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think actually the Toyota Prius shows how far behind we as an English engineering nation have got, because we haven't got anything like it, have we? We haven't got a Reliant Prius, have we?
Well, we don't really make cars anymore, do we?
No, you're right. No.
I mean, Aston Martin was about the only English thing left, and that's gone now. That's owned by somebody from the United Arab Emirates or someplace like that, isn't it? I mean, they've got an English figurehead, but...
It was a well-known popular car, wasn't it, the Aston Martin DB7? I mean, it's a bit like the Ford...
DB7?
Pardon?
DB7?
Are we higher up than that, are we?
Pa! DB9, mate.
Oh, crikey.
Wouldn't look twice at a DB7.
Ah, is that old hat, then?
Definitely, yeah. And when the DB7 came out, everyone thought, oh, my God, that's ravishing. And when the DB9 came out, holy macaroni. Am I right, Alex? You want to rip your clothes off and throw yourself on its bonnet?
I do regularly.
Can I ask you a question? Could your weekly wage afford the chrome capping of one of its exhausts?
I couldn't fill it with petrol.
I know, it's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's so many people in that world. You just think, where the hell has all this money come from? You can't walk out in any decent area of London without it seeming as though money is virtually pouring out of the brickwork.
I think those people get their money from inventing software programs for social security, networks for the government.
Well, yeah, anything computer-based for the government is a fast track to vast riches. You don't actually have to deliver anything, you just have to say you will.
Yeah, just have a blip.
Yeah, and they'll give you £100 million.
Yeah.
And then just kind of forget about it. I mean, you just say that we will, eventually give you something, and they'll give you just endless. They'll write you an open cheque saying, just fill in any amount. We don't care. It's not our money.
A good one's a computer program that can chase all the errant fathers that have run away from their children for CSA. That's a good one.
Well, you just have to make stuff like it'll invent a new colour blue. Oh, great! Here's £5 billion.
And two Aston Martin DB9s chucked in.
Yeah.
And a couple of tasty models as well. And a Caribbean island next to Richard Branson's.
Yeah, but not too near, mind.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Well, you don't want those kind of neighbours. You have to keep up appearances.
I thought he gave his island to people like Tony Blair and Cliff Richard and things like that. I thought they were all in that set.
Cliff owns Barbados, and Tony just goes and stays there for free.
Does he?
Yeah.
With his girlfriend.
Who, Tony?
No, Cliff.
Or Cliff. Well, better leave that there. Thanks a lot, Jethro.
Right.
LBC.
Ian Lee.
Let's go to line 7.
Do you mind if I say a few words? Thank you.
Whenever I'm sitting in for Ian Lee, the cleaners don't come in. I think they're frightened of me.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you growl through the window at
Well,
them?
I just, the people who are sitting where you sit,
Yeah.
because we're in different rooms, right? I should explain
Thank
the
God.
setup here. I know, really. There's there's 3 panes of glass between you and me, and the cleaners come into your area, the ante-room, if you will.
control room.
The lobby, yeah. And they, and whoever's sitting in there goes, oh no, don't go in, don't go in.
Sometimes they don't care, to be honest.
I think they're frightened of me.
I don't think they realise who's on air, so they just go in, especially as Ian encourages it.
Yeah.
Come on in!
So Ian was giving you a hard time for screwing up my podcast.
Yes. Why do we have to go back over this? I can't believe it. An hour and 20 minutes later,
Yeah.
we're still banging on about it.
Yes, quite right too.
I can't talk about it anymore.
So if anybody missed the podcast last week because Lucy screwed it up, you missed a super show.
yeah.
You should go back in time and
Download it.
Yeah, exactly, because it's still up there, right? Unless you.
Maybe we should do a poll and rate it. If you do think it was really very good. Or if tonight's is maybe marginally worse or better.
Skateboarding was one of the noises that people just couldn't stand. Birds, early morning bird song. Now, I kind of like that as long as I can sleep through it. I mean, the English garden has exploded with the sound of Tweety birds this year. Not those kind of urban birds, the crows or the whatever they're called,
Pigeons.
ravens, the ones that go like that, like they're throwing up.
What
Not
about
those
the
ones.
pigeon? Can you do the pigeon noise?
Yeah, cuckoo. It goes like that. Indistinguishable from an actual cuckoo. But no, Tweety birds. The ones that seem to disappear. It's as though the trees are alive with them this year. They've all come back.
Yeah, it's lovely. I like it.
Yeah, me too. Insects are freaking out, but we like it because they're not going to bite our heads off.
I've seen a couple of bees around this week, by the way.
Really?
Which is good news, isn't it? So maybe the world won't end just yet. as predicted last week.
Yeah, there's a couple that aren't dead because of our use of mobile phones. But you know what? We've been using mobile phones for a decade now. How come just now that the mobile phones are killing the bees? Only this year? That's silly, isn't it?
Well, I said, hello, Mr. Bee. Make sure you go back to your home.
Although what I found is that you know, if you don't if you don't have a direct contact with nature, if in other words you live in London and you don't live in the middle of a park in a tent, then you think that nature is pretty much the same year after year. You know, the birds come back in the same places, and there's the same amount of insects, and you know, and it's just a repeat year after year. But you know what? It really isn't. It's actually extraordinary the difference one year to the next makes. I mean, one year we'll have there'll be so many ladybirds around that you'll virtually your face will be covered in them as soon as you walk out the door. You look like,
ridiculous.
as soon as you set your face out the window, you look like Darth Maul. But this year there doesn't seem to be any, and some years bees are the size of
They are now, though. They're enormous.
of Volkswagens, but And some years they don't appear at all. And like last year, we didn't have many Tweety birds. And this year, the trees are packed with them.
What about the snails? I've noticed we've got loads of snails this year. Have you got lots of snails?
No, I haven't noticed that. No, but isn't it nature that interesting that that it's different every year? Because previously, I've tried to avoid nature after what it's done to me. But it's right in my face at the moment, and one year to the next is totally different. Anyway, these are noises that people have flagged up as being unlivable with. Skateboarding, slamming doors, birds, church bells was one, which I think is... I like church bells, as long as they're distant. I mean, you don't want to be...
Actually, we do have a local church that chimes every hour, even all through the night.
Really?
Mm.
That can't be legal.
Well...
Really? I'm sure they're supposed to stop at some point.
Well, it does go all night long.
Well, who needs to know the time at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, actually, yeah, it's pretty depressing if you can't sleep and you keep hearing it hour.
I mean, does it just ding once, or does it ding...
you know that it's 3 o'clock.
Because it's dung
ding,
3
ding,
times.
Ding. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you want to put a stop to that.
Well, I feel sorry for people who live immediately by it, but I can still hear it from my
even
house.
God's complaining about that.
Wasn't there a story about a bell ringing boy?
Oh yes,
poor
boy.
The comedy stuff.
He pulled down on the rope to ring the bell. Forgot to release it.
Oh, I didn't think it was his fault. I thought that something had snapped, and that's why it pinged him up. And then
no, I don't think he forgot to let go.
Oh.
So was hoiked up into the belfry.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
And Alex is laughing at him. Laughing! Constant announcements on the underground is another thing. You know what? That is actually beginning to drive me mad. Some people, they need their own talk show, and they're working for London Underground, and they cannot shut up. I mean, you just want to throttle them. And the train just arriving at platform 3 is the train all the way through to the end of the line. Please allow the passengers to get off before you board the train. Please move down into the centre of the carriage. Please use the carriages at either end of the train as they're less busy than those. Please, and you think, will you shut up? And they just go on and on, loving the sound of their own voice, because they're sitting there with a microphone on, and they can hear, a second or so later, the echo of their voice as it booms around the station. It must give them such a sense of power.
Ooh, I like that.
If only Hitler had had one of those microphones, we wouldn't have had World War II, because he would have been happy just with that. And that's an actual fact. Did you know that? Hey, Nigel.
Hello, Nick. Sorry, I was losing concentration there. I was listening to you. Foxes making the noise.
Yeah.
Right. What it is, it's vixens only. The dog fox doesn't make that noise. They're actually calling their cubs. Right. What they do is once they've weaned the cubs off, they will leave them for all the daylight hours in the earth, right? They'll hide up somewhere else, the vixens. When it's night time, they'll come back, and that noise is actually to guide the cubs out to them, so they can. She'll feed them then, and they'll hang around for a couple of hours in the dark. Then the cubs will go back down, and she'll go away again. So for months, maybe a month, 6 weeks, she'll actually leave them on their own throughout the whole of the day. And that's what the noise is. It's not fighting or sex or anything.
Right.
Because they actually breed around sort of November.
And how do you know all this?
I've had a lot to do with foxes. I've been a gamekeeper. My father's a gamekeeper. It's something you learn over the years.
An actual expert on the phone. Good grief, it's a first for this show. All right, well, that's excellent. Thanks a lot, Nigel.
Okay.
There you are, you see. It's the women loose, making all the noise.
There we go.
I wonder how they feed. They'll probably cough up a chicken.
Might do.
But do they do it like birds? That is disgusting,
That's
isn't
horrible, isn't it? Well, actually, foxes do eat their doobies, don't they?
Pardon?
They eat their, their feces. I think it's feces.
No, they
sick.
don't.
Isn't they're sick as well? They eat one round of it. Yeah, they do. They do. I did it on a nature walk once.
You did it?
No, we watched it. We had to examine it. And apparently a fox, I think it's either vomit or poo, but it I'm sure it's poo, and it does one, and then it basically doesn't go through properly, and then it eats it again.
Lucy,
and then
it doesn't. Just believe me. No animal in the world.
Well, of course, well...
Yes?
Dogs even eat cow pats and things,
no,
don't they?
They don't.
They do, I've seen it.
How dumb a dog would you have to be to eat eat a cow pat?
It's true.
Flies even think twice.
They don't. I'm going to prove it.
You are crazy. Go on then, Google it and prove it. I double dare you.
No, I'm scared about being an idiot.
Yes, quite right
But sometimes before I've said things and you've laughed at me, and sometimes I've been right.
Never, not once have you ever been right about anything. As Ian Lee will attest. He was quite right. Whatever he said about you during the week... There she is, clacking away. Have you typed up that letter to your husband yet?
Which letter? What that you were on about before? Oh.
Go on then. Click one of those. Click the first one.
Oh, okay.
Most food has been made and consumed domestically throughout Western history. Eating out was... What's all that about?
I don't think that's it, is it?
No. Food and Eating, an anthropological perspective by Robin Fox. That's the name of the guy that wrote it.
He said click it.
See, Google is great, isn't it? Unlike badgers, foxes do not use bedding materials in their dens. Dead or dying foxes are occasionally cannibalized, and foxes will eat grasses.
Want to score some pot?
See?
Well, I'll keep checking.
You are full of such nonsense, it's incredible. And I don't mean to be offensive when I say that, but seriously, Lewis, what the hell are you talking about? I'm trying to keep this show on a factual level.
And I'm just bringing it down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to mention any of my more crazy ideas then. I'll just keep quiet.
You have ideas that are crazier than that.
What's so attractive about Pisa?
Are you trying to be funny? Because I'm all out of laughs.
It's Aid who can get laid.
Hello, Nick. How you doing?
I am all right, mate.
Yeah. Oh, you've been all about cars again, so I've got to interject with a show I've seen this week. Did you see a show called Used Car Roadshow?
No.
It's on ITV4 now. It used to be on Men and Motors, but I mean, I'm poor and I've already got Freeview.
This is the thing that's been done by the guy who writes the used car column for the Sunday Times, right?
Jason, it's
Jason Dawes?
Yeah, biggish bloke.
Yeah.
And a woman. And it does, one of the features, well, the basic idea is to buy 3 cars and see what the bloke or woman's going to choose. But they also do, the funny bit was, they also do a bit like a car you're supposed to be able to buy and run for a year, and you could sell it or not lose anything. And this week it was a Lotus Elise. And I thought, usually gets in the car, but this week he didn't. Because I thought, there's no way that guy's going to get in there. You know what a Lotus Elise is like to get in that?
Yes, you'd have to be svelte.
Yeah.
Well, to be sitting in a two-seater sports car, I think you have to be svelte, otherwise you'll look ridiculous.
My brother's got one, and it's like a nightmare. It's like to crawl in and out of it.
So you can buy a Lotus Elise. Those are those cars that look kind of like almost as though you'd given a 10-year-old crayons and said, draw a car, and that's what he came up with. They're like a shrunken version of the Batmobile.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, they keep low mileage, don't they? Because they're that uncomfortable.
And and they're almost completely useless in the modern, for everyday life, because you can't put anything in them. I mean, you can't go down to the shops, because where are you going to put stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy a watch and maybe put it in the car, but that's about it.
And the thing that sells them is that they're for nice weather, aren't they, like now, and, they weigh about as much as a box of matches.
So you can buy a Lotus Elise, run it for a year, and sell it, and it won't depreciate. In fact, it will appreciate, so you actually come out even on the deal over a year. Is that what they were saying?
So they say. But I mean, I did watch it before, and they bought, one start, the first series they did, they bought for Mondeo, and they lost a load of money on it, so, you know, you could trust what they say.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes you wonder why anybody buys a new car at all, because as soon as you get in and turn the key, it's lost a third of its value. It's crazy, really.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it anyway. Do you know, since they changed the registration, it seems silly to me. It's like 52, 03, and all that sort of business. I don't know, but I mean, when it used to be a letter, you just like think, oh, that's a new car. Now, I don't notice it.
Well, I think that was the intention, wasn't it? Because everybody saved up buying a new car until the second the new plates came out. So people only bought, so, you know, the car industry was dependent on 1 month of the year, and so they were trying to spread out the purchases of cars, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because otherwise people were just standing around in car showrooms, you know, twiddling their thumbs.
And there's always a story in the Sun, regular. Mr. Smith bought his brand new Jaguar and promptly crushed it through a window. What's a fool? Every year I used to see that. I don't think you see that so much.
Well, you think that Mr. Smith would learn and drive more carefully next time. Every year he did it. Amazing.
Well, Mr. Smith's just like a generalisation tip.
Oh, I see. Right. Generalising you were.
Not that I know anybody that's got a car, so... You know, if you haven't, got somebody who's, like, really lucky in life, and you feel like you're the one that, like, gets the bad end of the stick all the time.
Oh, there's no end of people who are lucky in life. Who's the luckiest man in show business, Luz? Stop looking for foxes eating their own poo. They don't do it.
I've got some good calls coming up for you.
The luckiest man in show business. Who's the luckiest man in show business, Aid?
You're going to laugh at me, but Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah.
Bruce Forsyth is not the luckiest man in show business. He's hugely talented. It's not luck that got him where he is today.
Right,
He's talent.
Oh, it's just some boy like Robbie Williams, then.
No, he's not.
Yeah, you might have something there. Can't sing, can't dance, because he's got the mics, the stage presence of a soap dish worth £90 million. Yeah, you might have something there, Aid.
Yeah, that was another programme. That was, did you see that on Thursday? Oh, you was working Thursday, weren't you? But there was a programme on Thursday night, the Times Rich List or something. Yeah, what sort of programming is that?
It's an advert for the Sunday Times Rich List, which is probably going to come out later tonight, right? Is that this week, Sunday Times Rich List? Doesn't that it upsets you on a yearly basis? You go through it, looking for the people that you've heard of, and you think, ugh. You think.
And to add insult to injury, they even did a programme on it beforehand.
Yeah, that's what he was just talking about. All right, well, that's something to look forward to. Thanks a lot, Aid.
Oh, Dick, I was going to tell you another story, but...
Oh, God. Go on, then, quickly.
Yeah, well, the thing was the games console he registered. My mate got,
The what?
A games console that he registered online. You can download, like, games and stuff. My mate got the Blu-ray Bond DVD.
A Blu-ray Bond DVD?
And I got absolutely nothing.
Well, you've lost me there, mate. But I'm very, if it was my fault, then I apologise.
I'm not blaming you.
Well, let's blame Lucy. Everything else is her fault. Thanks a lot, Aid. Best of luck, all right.
Okay, cheers, then.
Ta-ta. Now, what were we talking about?
Can I stop being head of blame here?
No.
Well,
we'll see how you do tonight. Are you?
No,
No, you're not.
Lucky I'm thick-skinned, eh? Right, you've got some really good calls here, have you seen?
Basildon. Hello, Lynn.
Hello, darling.
Lynn.
Hello. Hello, Nick.
Yes, Lynn.
Hello, Lucy. Luce, and she's not wrong.
About
some animals eating their poo.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They're animals. You might think it's disgusting, but it's not to an animal.
What animal would do that?
An ape. Gorillas eat their own dung.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I've seen it on television.
What kind of a TV programme was that? Would show that?
Because it's nature.
Animals do the craziest things.
Yeah.
One of those.
No, it's not. I don't know what it was called. It was a long time ago, and I remember I had someone in my house at the time. I live on my own, so I don't have much company. But I think someone was in my house at the time. They went, "Ooh, look at that!" I said, "Yeah, I know. It looks disgusting to us because we're human. We don't do that."
They don't eat it. They fling it.
They eat it. They don't eat all that they do, but they do eat some because, as Luce said, they have to recycle it because they haven't eaten all the goodness from it.
Yes, their bodies...
Their bodies haven't extracted all the goodness from it.
Nonsense. Their bodies expel it for the very reason that it has been extracted.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I'll give you an instance, right? I have a German Shepherd doggy. He's 10 months old, and if I don't scoop up his poo and throw it away, he will lick it.
Well, that's because he's stupid.
No, he's not stupid. How dare you? I know you're winding me up, really. But he's not stupid.
And that's the same tongue that licks your face.
So what?
I rest my case.
You rest your case. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Lynn. What a horrible story. Belsize Park. Hello, Judy.
Hello. Can you say anaesthetist yet?
Anaesthetist.
Good. Very good. I phoned to defend Lucy.
Go on.
We used to have a dog, and his greatest treat was to eat cow pats. Hello?
Well,
You said that dogs don't do that.
Well, they don't... He's not eating it,
Yes.
surely.
Yes, we used to... When we went on holiday to Devon, we used to regularly cross the
Oh, it was a holiday treat. Oh, well, you should have said.
You don't get many cows in Belsize Park, but we used to go...
Oh, I beg to disagree. I lived near Belsize Park. There's no end of them there.
Right. The bovine kind. We used to go to Devon on holiday, and we used to walk across the field where there were cows, and he used to stop and eat the cow pats.
Well, he was probably just checking for...
No, he ate them. He didn't just play with them or throw them in the air. He actually ate them. We had to drag him away. It was his greatest treat. But you're wrong again, I'm afraid.
I seriously doubt that, Judy. You weren't eating mushrooms on this trip to the countryside, were you?
No. It was his... Truly, he loved eating cow pats.
Right.
So there you are. You must apologise to Lucy now.
Yeah, I'll think about that. Thanks a lot, Judy.
Thank you.
Ta-ta. Here is the West End. Hello, Alex.
How you doing?
All right.
Yeah, I think everyone's got it wrong. Yeah, foxes don't eat their own stuff.
No.
It's only rabbits that do it. Because they eat grass, right? And because they've got small bodies, they don't have enough room for 4 stomachs, like cows. So they have to eat their own doings again.
That's true.
So there you go.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex.
No way.
Cheers, mate. This has become the most disgusting programme I've ever been in charge of. This ship is sailing into dangerous territory.
Guess what?
And it's all your fault, Lucy. Not that I'm apportioning any blame or, pointing my finger, but it's you, Luce. You!
Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Something. Good grief, you can't even go for the ads on this show. Talk about one topic. This is awful. It's Mr. Lister.
Good evening, Nick.
Philip.
Are you going to have a rock and roll session after midnight?
Rock and roll?
Rock and roll! Well, the reason I ask is because I just saw an advert on the television. It said one of the newspapers has got a free CD of Elvis Presley.
Huh. I bet it's the Mail.
No, it's not.
Which is it?
Well, according to the other, I think I saw it like the Sunday Mirror.
Sunday Mirror?
Yes.
Elvis?
Elvis, yes. So I don't know how old the recordings are. I mean, some of the recordings, you buy one, and, they're recordings from studios, and one's done years and years after the originals.
Well, let's hope it's svelte Elvis and not fat Elvis.
Yes.
Let's hope it's, from the early to mid-50s.
Yes. Let's have a party. What was your favourite Elvis film, Nick?
Favourite Elvis film?
Yeah.
Oh, come off it,
No,
mate.
I'm serious. Because I've got a question. Do you know what film Elvis appeared in with his mum?
No.
Well, actually, it's my favourite Elvis film. It was his second one.
But they're all rubbish.
No, they're not. I mean, I grant some of them are, but I mean, there were several he made that were very, very good. I mean, Loving You, which is the second one, which is the one where he appeared with his mum, is very good.
I didn't know that Elvis had a mum.
Yeah, if you ever see the film, Nick, in a concert appearance, he goes down in the audience, and there's this elderly lady sitting in one of the seats, and he goes up and gives her a special dance. Yeah. So, I mean, I know he did lots of weird ones. What's it, Harem Holiday, and, have you ever seen the one in which he appeared as two people?
No.
That's a good one. Kissing
I doubt it. Oh, favourite Elvis film? It's like asking me which is my favourite Cliff Richard film. They're all rubbish.
Oh, no, I mean, and also, Nick, I gather there's another CD you're going to be getting when you get the papers. Mike Oldfield.
Mike Oldfield, yeah.
Groovy.
I know. Can you wait?
Yeah, I mean...
Now, that's actually, of all the CDs... Of all the CDs... Let's talk over each other all the time and no one can understand a damn word we're saying. Of all the CDs that have ever been given away by a newspaper, this has to be the best. Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells.
Elvis Presley. Did I ever tell you, Nick, that I actually sang on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville?
No.
Yeah, it was many years ago. I was on a holiday, had a few days in Nashville, and I wanted to go on a trip round to see the sights, you know, like you do. And one of the things, we went down to the old Ryman Auditorium, which was the old site of the Grand Ole Opry, and when I went there, it was very dilapidated, you know, it's been renovated since. Anyway, I was on a little minibus with 24 women.
God, you must have been packed in.
And, well, let's say mid, you know, anyway. So they were all Southern Baptists. And we were all taken round, and we got on the stage, and our guide said that there was a rule that everybody who went on the stage of the Ryman had to sing a song. So that's how it was that I came to be on the stage at the Grand Ole Opry singing Stand By Your Man with 24 ladies of Southern Baptist.
And you were the man they were singing about?
Oh, I don't know. I was in the middle, you know, and it was... they were looking after me. So, you know,
Well, that's your southern hospitality. Looking after you.
Also, Nick, mentioned about...
Is that a euphemism? You were taken care of?
Oh, well, yes. Have you ever been to Nashville, Nick?
No, I haven't, no.
It's an interesting place. I
doubt that.
You go round the houses of these so-called celebrities, they say, Johnny Cash lived there and, all the stars. But as I say, it was a very nice atmosphere there.
Patsy Cline? Did you see Patsy Cline's house?
Oh, yeah. No, I tell you, we did see an old country singer who was one of my favourites. You ever heard of Webb Pierce?
No.
Yeah, he saw him. And
was this one of his?
Yes, it was a wonderful stay, apart from the tornado. While I was there, we had a tornado warning. And they put out this morning on the TV, there's going to be a tornado warning till 8 o'clock.
Right, a big wind. This is like a running theme on this show, isn't it?
And it was raining quite heavily, and they phoned me up in my motel and said, "Are you in your room?" I said, "Well, I ain't going out." And fortunately, you know, obviously we didn't get any problems.
Right. Did your room have one of those vibrating beds?
Oh, no. I had a hotel. When I was in Sydney, Australia, they had a vibrating bed. You had to put, I think it was about $1 in it, and you got 15 minutes.
Best dollar you've ever spent, I bet.
Oh, it was weird. It didn't vibrate very much.
Well, mine virtually walked me out the door. It was great.
Where was yours, Nick? Where did you...
I don't know. It's in some sort of a flea bag motel, I think near Vegas, with a bullet hole in the door.
Oh no!
And you put the thing in, and it vibrates away, which is, you know, mildly entertaining. When it starts up, and you think, ooh, and then you sit on it for about 5 minutes or so, and after the initial surprise, then it just becomes a little bit boring. Apart from when it stops, and when it stops, it's such a surprise, your eyeballs virtually pop out of your head.
I suppose it's the time period you get for the coins you put in. Yeah, one thing I've always wanted to try, but I never have, it's a waterbed.
Yeah, they're much less, they're much less pleasant than you might think, because they never stop moving. I couldn't imagine actually sleeping in one.
I suppose it
but people don't, though, do they?
Yeah, I suppose it'd wake you up with it.
Waterbeds are not for sleeping in.
Have you ever slept on a train, Nick?
When I was a little kid, we went on a skiing trip to Switzerland, and we had a couchette, which I believe is the French name for it. It literally translates as place you can't sleep in.
Yeah. I slept on a train going across Canada, and every time the train stopped, I woke up. Whether it was the movement that was sending me to sleep, I don't know.
Right.
But one final thing about pop music, if I may, Nick.
And in closing.
I noticed that they've been showing the Girl Can't Help It quite a few times on TV recently.
What's that?
You've never seen The Girl Can't Help It?
No.
Regarded as one of the greatest rock and roll films ever made.
Yeah, what's that then?
Well, it's the story, the stars is Jane Mansfield and Tom Yule. And it featured in it are all the big rock and roll stars. You got Fats Domino, Eddie Cochran, Gene Vincent, The Platters, and it's one. I'm surprised you've never seen it, Nick.
No, I have not. But then, I'm not really into. I'm not massively into 50s rock and roll.
No.
I like it in passing, but my interest in music really starts in the 70s, to be honest.
Yeah. There was a singer from the 70s, Nick, that had a big hit in America. When I was there in the 70s, you couldn't turn on the radio without hearing this, and I wonder whatever happened to her.
Name?
Maxine Nightingale, right back where we started from.
Right.
Any idea what happened to her?
No idea. We'll Google it along with foxes eating their own product.
Anyway, all the best, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Philip.
Okay.
He's certainly given us a lot to do.
What does aha mean?
I was just thinking, do we really want another one about this?
Last one.
Wimbledon. Hello, Owen.
Why not? Of course you want another one about this.
Go on.
Because we want to settle it once and for all.
Please do.
Those films with Cliff and Elvis were terrible.
Yes, quite right.
Oh, awful. And whatever happened to Kathy Kirby? She was one that, I think she had a pretty good voice in the 60s, because my interest in music only really started in the 70s as well. But Lucy is correct in that the foxes definitely recycle their own. It's the rowan berries, particularly in the autumn. They're very difficult to digest. Verinda had half the right end of the stick, but rabbits never recycle their own. They never eat it again. There's no sign of recycling it on the golf course where I play golf regularly. And gorillas do, definitely. I watched a gorilla quite happily recycle his own stick about 10 times. Fascinating to watch. And foxes, my beagle was particularly keen on horses, little doo-doos. And so, I think animals do tend to eat it, I'm afraid.
Well, this is something that you don't learn on David Attenborough, isn't it? Planet Earth never showed us that in high definition, did they?
I have a feeling it would look quite... I think they might double their audiences.
Yeah, okay. I'll pass the suggestion along. Thanks a lot, Owen.
All right.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da. Awful. Absolutely. You, Lucy.
See?
It's your fault, this.
Can I just say, you said you're wrong, Lucy. See, I'm not that wrong.
Well, let me change my opinion.
Okay.
You're wrong for having brought it up in the first place.
Well, yes, maybe it's not the nicest topic of conversation, but I can't really remember how it came about. Sort of just...
Well, you just blurted it out.
I didn't just...
I was talking about religion, probably, or,
Yeah,
something like that, and you just banging on about animals eating their own product. I mean, you think here's a clue. The smell of it is, off-putting, to say the least, and there's a good reason for that.
Okay, let's not talk about it anymore, because you're going down that horrible route now. And
What are you talking about?
It's not fun, though, if you're talking about the smell and things. I don't like that. I talk about the nice element of it.
Eating it?
Well, the bits that are still...
Can you believe this, Alex? She's actually turned this around into it's my fault. I'm the disgusting one here.
Now you know what it feels like to be a husband.
No, I have got no idea of the horror that must entail.
It's just knowing when to stop. I think that's the important thing.
All right, stop.
So, we'd like you to knock through...
Hey, how are you?
So what do you think of this woman who's going to be doing commentary on Match of the... I guess she's done it already, hasn't she? Because Match of the Day's already been on, right? I always catch it tomorrow morning.
I'm
Bright
a
and
lady
early.
boy, remember?
Huh?
I'm a lady boy, remember? I don't watch this stuff.
But you must have an opinion about this woman, Jackie somebody or other. Match of the Day kicks off Saturday with the first woman commentator in its 43-year history. Jackie Oatley, 32, has, well, this is Will, but has already taken the microphone for the clash between Fulham and Blackburn. Any opinions? No.
No. Isn't that... I mean, ITV started that kind of thing, didn't they? That kind of sports
didn't they
vibe.
have Gabby, what's her name, doing it? And she's now over on the BBC, isn't that right?
You'd know.
Gabby Logan, that's right, became the first woman to present Match of the Day in February, after her move from ITV to the BEB. And you know the one thing that that is common between Gabby Logan and Jackie What's-it? They both look exactly the same. They're both good-looking blondes. Yes. I think it's outrage. I am outraged on women's behalf that the only women who can get on TV are young, good-looking blonde women. Blokes can be any old rough-looking fat. You and I could probably get on TV. No offence, but you know, and the
that's
guy.
what men want to see.
Yeah, but
women want to feel, you know, like an authority, you know, father figure.
Yeah, that's why they always pick Brad Pitt as the world's best-looking man. Yeah.
No, but when they're getting, you know, news and things delivered, I think that's what women trust more. Whereas men
so
just
do
want
I.
to look at.
No, we don't.
I do.
Not when they're giving
I'd
the
rather
news.
look at Fiona Bruce than.
What, giving you the news?
Someone.
Well,
is it attractive?
No, that's just daft. I mean, why do you want someone who's attractive telling you how many people died today?
I don't know. Because it's nice.
Shut up. You're nuts, man. No, I think it's outrageous that the only women who are allowed to appear on television are, they all look exactly the same, like they stamp them out of a mould. I mean, do you think it's a little coincidental that this woman who's doing the commentary on Match of the Day looks like a top model? I mean, if she took her top off, she could be on page 3.
Well, still,
Adrian Childs, on the other hand, not so much.
It's still, you know, mostly watched by men, I expect, that programme.
Yeah, but she's not even going to be appearing on screen. It's only her voice, and yet she still has to look like that.
Yeah,
Aren't you outraged, Luce?
What about?
Are you listening to this show?
No, I'm reading the papers.
I'll wait till she gets back and sits in her little stool.
She's going out to the kettle first.
Is she? Oh, make me a nice cup of tea. But, no, I just think it's incredible that, that still, in this day and age, that men can look like crap on a stick on TV. I mean, that Adrian Childs bloke, I mean, he's overweight, he's chubby, you wouldn't, find his face on a picture on a gallery wall, would you? Unless it was a piece of modern art. But the women that surround them, even on the football programmes, have to look like models. I just think that's just not right, is it? Will you shut up? Stop being so unreconstructed. Let's have Lake in Ashford. What does that mean? Hello, David.
Hello.
Yes, David.
How you doing?
All right.
Okay, right, the fox poo thing, I'm going to clear it right up in a word, yeah?
Yeah.
Foxes are similar to dogs, yeah? Okay, so when the fox vixen has the cubs, what happens is, to stimulate the digestion of the cubs...
All right, okay, you know what, I believe you. Can we move on? Was there anything else?
Uh-huh.
Go on, something else, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as dogs as well. Dogs...
Okay, you know what? I believe you. Can we move on to a different topic? Was there something else?
Was there something else?
Yeah, because what it's got on my screen is fishing through the night.
Yeah, I'm here fishing through the night in Ashford, you know.
What are you doing that for?
Because that's what fishermen do, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately, but fortunately they do, yeah. Because, unknown to the people that don't go fishing, that you will catch more fish at night than you will during the day.
You know what? I've seen people fish. When I was living in Leeds over the summer a couple of years ago, people used to fish outside my window all the time, and they didn't catch I didn't see one person catch anything, but they were out there from early morning through till late at night, and it looked to me like a poor person's meditation.
No, it's not. You know, because what happens is fish become familiar, unbeknown to the people that don't go fishing. The carp become familiar to their surroundings, and they can become familiar to being caught. So what happens is, in the day, they're shy when they actually become accustomed.
Right, they learn. They learn
that fishing lines in the water means that they're going to get caught.
But that doesn't disprove my theory that fishing is actually a poor person's meditation. I mean, some people go to yoga class. Middle class people go to yoga. Poor people sit there with a can of Stella and with their line in the water all day long, just sort of staring blankly ahead.
It's certainly not a poor person's sport. That's for sure, because the equipment that I've got probably adds up to about £4,000, mate. So it's definitely nothing to do with being poor.
Right, and so you're sitting there all night long, and you catch and then throw back.
Of course.
What's the point in that?
Because it's the sport of. It's the same as why do you think years ago people used to shoot tigers? At least we put them back. We
For
don't kill
money.
them. No, it's for pride in something on the wall. My pride in something on the wall is I take something out the lake that's £30, take a photograph, put it back, and let somebody else catch it.
Well, you could explain it from now until the end of time, and I still wouldn't get it.
And I'm still going to tell you about the poo thing.
No, I think we've done that.
Come on, let me.
That was so yesterday, David. I've got to go. Good luck with your fishing.
Okay,
all right,
thank
cheers,
you very
mate.
much.
Ta-da.
Good night.
No, I've watched people fishing for lengthy periods of time from my balcony in Leeds. Hoodies they were rolling up in their little, in their tracksuits with their six-packs.
Oh.
Sitting there all day long, just like staring glumly ahead. I think it's just meditation for when Trisha's stopped.
It would be nice if you were at a nice picturesque lake, though, wouldn't it? If you had a good book.
Well, I think middle-class people go picnicking, and it's like a bloke's picnic, isn't it?
You can get really cool picnic stuff now. Have you noticed some of the stuff you can get?
It's like golf is a walk with a purpose.
Yeah.
Fishing is a picnic with a purpose. I'm sure it's just that, isn't it?
Maybe. Anyway, you can get rucksack picnic
urchins
stuff now.
don't want to say that they go on picnics. Oh, we're going fishing, mate. Fishing. So that's what they do. They go and sit staring at the water for 6 hours a day, and come back with absolutely nothing. But at least they've put their mind into neutral.
Well, that's no bad thing, is it?
At least they aren't, stabbing old ladies in the throat.
Screaming at the TV. Not eating porridge.
Don't drag me into this.
Well, it's another form of meditation, a nice way to keep nice and calm, thinking about
I suppose so, but I mean, they kid on that. I'm going to take this, I'm going to take Tubular Bells, by the way.
You can have it.
Well, don't say that.
I really wouldn't want it.
Don't say it like that. Tubular Bells is...
If you think, yeah.
It's not, I think. It is.
Well, no, music is always a matter of opinion,
No,
isn't it?
it isn't.
Of course it is. That is just ridiculous.
Tubular Bells
love Tubular Bells.
Tubular Bells is great.
Not for me. Not for me.
Well,
is there anything cooler for me?
You stick with whatever the hell it is that, rubbish that you listen to.
Rubbish. How?
Oh! Like that.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want.
No.
What I really, really want. Don't tell me what you want. What you really, really want. I wanna, really, really, really wanna zig a zig.
Whatever it is that you listen to, Luz.
Listen to a bit of everything, really.
What, Lighthouse Family?
No, I hate the Lighthouse Family. They're pants.
Simply Red.
No, hate that.
I was talking earlier on about this woman who's doing commentary on Match of the Day, and I was outraged on behalf of women everywhere that she looks like a page 3 model, and so does the only other woman who's got anything to do with football on television, Gabby Logan.
Yeah.
They both look identical. There's a picture of them both. They look like twins, like they've been stamped out of the same machine. Like plastic they look. Why do women have to look stunningly beautiful on TV and men can look like a dog's dinner? Well, men can look like a fox's breakfast.
Well, I don't think men do look awful. Do they? Well, I suppose it's not as good as some of the women do look. They look a bit
men
more
just
polished.
look normal. They look ordinary, like your everyday slob in the street. Whereas women have to
But
have to
women
look
can't
like.
afford to do that, can they? If
But
they want to be
that's-
on TV, they've got to outdo one another.
Yes, but don't you find that's my entire point? That is outrageous. That they're not being hired because they're good. They're being hired because they're pretty.
But they probably are the best women around, aren't they? On that
What?
topic.
They just all coincidentally happen to be beautiful.
You've gotta
Come
have
off
the-
it, Lucy.
No, that you've got to have the full package. It's the same if you look at people on stage.
Yes, but men
on
don't
TV.
have to. Like, I'm on your side. Why are you fighting me on this?
I'm not. But I'm just saying it is the same everywhere, isn't it? It's not just this. If
No,
you-
it's not the same everywhere. It's not the same for men. Men just have to be good at something. It doesn't matter what they look like. Women have to be beautiful, and regardless of whether they're any good.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, they do.
Like, if they could be, she could be the best football commentator in the world, but if she looked like,
But you see
if she
the
looked
guy-
like the fat slags from Plymouth or Portsmouth or wherever the hell they were, whereas they're in the paper all day long, she wouldn't get a sniff of a job.
No, but maybe what it is again is maybe the men have a good sense of humour. You know, which counts for a lot, doesn't it?
I just don't get you at all. I just don't get you. It's like it's a constant fight with you about absolutely everything. I am saying positive things.
I know, it's nice.
You should be agreeing with me. I must be the only bloke on the air who would say this, and you're fighting me over it.
Well, no, I think it's... But the point is it's true, so, you know... Well, it doesn't really... You know... It's nice of you to agree with, for women.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, I'll be nice. Don't get... That's a great thing that you said.
Thank you. Right, I'll go through the papers in a minute, but what is all this? Like, suddenly...
busy.
Yeah, why? They don't want to still talk
Nobody
about
wants to hear
foxes,
about the
do they?
papers. I hope not. No.
I'll try. Hey, Tallulah.
Oh, you getting me in a bad mood. Stop arguing, honestly.
See?
Hello, you.
Hey, you.
What? But I mean it. Stop arguing. That's horrible.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about you should get the listeners in a good mood and stop arguing unless it's funny, but it comes to a point where it gets a bit silly.
Okay, thanks, Tallulah. Here's Muswell Hill. Hey, Jim.
Hello, mate. Tallulah's in a bad mood, isn't she?
Yeah, really stroppy tonight.
Oh. Well, I was phoning to ask if you remember that story about James Cameron a few weeks back. The one where he said he'd found the coffin that Jesus was buried in.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
I was thinking the exact same thing. He seems to have gone a bit quiet, doesn't he?
Yeah, like deathly silent.
Because I was expecting, like, the big press conference where he'd open the coffin and then, you know, find it empty.
Well, if you've actually found Jesus' coffin, then you'd think it would be the biggest story, well, for the last 2,000 years.
Yeah, I'd figure the guy who wrote the Da Vinci Code would start, you know, typing again.
Hey, good point.
Yeah, because I think I started expecting too much as well, because I was hoping maybe it would be like a Raiders of the Lost Ark thing where he'd open the coffin.
And everyone's eyes would fall out.
And then, yeah, lightning would shoot out of it, but... Oh, well.
Well, we can only hope.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe. Maybe he's keeping all the, you know, maybe there were special effects aplenty, but he's keeping them all for the big screen. And we'll all have to spend, you know, 30 quid or whatever it is to go to the West End and see it. Good point, Jim, yes. That was a massive story, and then absolutely nothing. And because everyone forgets the stories that are in the paper the very next day, you can get away with stuff like that, and no one says, hang on a minute. But you did. Well done, mate. Here's Mill Hill. Jonathan.
Hi.
Jonathan.
Do you ever get that feeling when you sort of see something and then you know instantly it's a bad idea? Like the marathon. The origins of the marathon was 5 deputies running from the town of Marathon to Athens with news of a battle. And the distance was about 26 miles. And when he got there, delivered the message to the king or the emperor, and then he died from exhaustion.
Yeah, dropped down dead. Yeah, that's a sign. Yeah.
Why are 30,000 people trying to emulate that tomorrow?
Because they're crazy. Yeah.
I don't understand it myself.
It's not good for you.
No, we should get a team of health experts down there to sort of analyse them.
Psychiatrists, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Have a chat with them, see if we can persuade them not to.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, I'll. If only I wasn't on the air tomorrow afternoon, I'd be down there with a megaphone. Don't do it, you crazy people. Right, thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Take care.
Cheers, mate. It's broccoli. Hello, Susan.
Oh, yeah, hello. It's about, you know, you said that the lady's beautiful. If she went topless, she'd be on page 3 newspaper.
The woman who's on Match of the Day, yeah.
Yeah, you're saying that she's beautiful, she could be on page 3, but if someone's beautiful, why should they have to be topless to be a page 3 girl?
Say that again.
Why should they have to be topless? Why can't they sort of have to be a page 3 girl with their bra and knickers on?
Well, I think the page 3 girl today did have her bra and knickers on.
Oh, did it? I don't know, I never saw it. I never looked in there, but usually page 3 girls it's usually topless. Like,
well, that's the point of the page 3 girl, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is my mum, she was the first woman to go topless. Her name was May Marion. That was years ago. She's the first woman to do it.
You mean she was the first page 3 girl?
Yeah, she walked from London to the other side of London with no top on. She's the first person to do it.
What'd she do that for?
I don't know, I think she got desperate because she didn't get nowhere, like, you know, didn't become a star, so she thought, well, she'll go topless and like, she'll get somewhere that way, you know what I mean?
And how did that work out for her?
So she said she made a lot of money out of it, she said. Made loads and loads of money out of it, she said.
Right.
You know, but she put a lot of other people out of work, good people who want to sort of like, earn a decent living, like, you know, with their clothes on. A lot of people who wanted to dance with their clothes on, like, you know, couldn't get jobs, because same as me. I was a good dancer, and I went for an interview to dance. And he said, oh yeah, we'll give you a job, but topless. I said, no, I'm not going topless.
Right. I get that all the time.
You're right, you're a man.
Well, only barely. All right, thanks a lot, Susan.
That's all right.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hey, Lucy, are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
Well, I'm dancing.
Oh,
so
close.
Oh, I even got the beginning bit right.
Hey, Rob.
Well, I am. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Robert.
I'm in the middle of Swansea site, thinking.
You're in the middle of Swansea in a very bad reception area. Yes.
Oh, don't say that. I've been on hold for ages. Yes. How are we?
We're super. Thanks for asking.
Are we? Do we have election fever?
Not really. I think it's a foregone conclusion.
Well, have you got local elections in London?
I don't know, have we? I don't think so, no. No.
Oh, right. Down here we got the Assembly elections and all.
Yeah, how is that Welsh Assembly working out for you?
It's doing marvellously, as you can imagine. We got free bus passes for the elderly.
Yeah, do you feel that they're spending your money wisely?
Well, I voted for the Nationalist Party on postal vote the other day because they said they're going to pay off my student debt.
And did they?
Well, so they win. They won't, so it's a waste of vote.
So, right, the Nationalist Party is going to wipe out student debt.
Well, they're going to pay off a substantial amount of Welsh students' student debt.
Is that a fact?
And give a laptop to all primary school kids, apparently.
Right.
But they're not going to win, so wasted vote, really. But I did vote Green. We have 2 votes in Wales. We have, like, a constituency and a regional. I voted Green as well.
It's almost like a different country, isn't it?
Do you know what? Scotland and Wales, completely different countries. The poor English. I really feel sorry for you, I do.
Right. Oh, well, that is some comfort. I'll think about that as I weep myself to sleep.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Did you see a program the other day on Channel 4? It's with Harvey Goldsmith, is it? Goldsmith? Do you remember the guy who organised Live Aid?
Yeah, Harvey Goldsmith, the promoter.
He's got his own show on Channel 4 when he organises acts, if you like, showbiz acts to improve them.
Yeah.
It's quite a good show. And he had a show on, you know, Louise, your caller from Barnsley.
Yeah.
She work experience on a station in London called, not London, like Burton-on-Sea, is it? Not awful like that? Yes. Called Essex, called The Big L.
What, as in Radio, The Big L? Radio
Well, it's
London.
a revamp of Radio yeah, it's...
There used to be a boat.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's one of those, digital stations, like, yeah, and they got the huge stars of Mike Reed and David Hamilton.
Did he David Hamilton?
Yes. And they all live in one big house together.
What?
Yes, they live in a big house together in the middle of... It's not in London, it's in Essex somewhere, some awful old town, above a building society, and they present shows in the week.
You're kidding.
No, honestly, it's awful. They got no listeners, that's why they got this guy in to help them out.
Mike Reed and Diddy David Hamilton and a bunch of other DJs are sharing a house.
They are sharing a house, and it's a big house, and watching this program, they are like awful parties and get-togethers, and you can imagine radio people together and what they talk about.
Radio.
Radio, the geeky rubbish.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is Mike Reed's a multi-millionaire. You remember he had that successful hit with the musical about, what's his name? The guy looked like Stephen Fry from the past. Homosexual, arrested, I can't remember his name.
Wilde, Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde, yeah, he had a successful musical of Oscar Wilde, remember?
No.
Oh, it opened for one night, then closed.
And he made £1 million out of that?
I don't think he made £1 million of that, but he knows where his business interests lie, should we say.
Why are they living in the same house?
I don't understand. Well, apparently most of them live about 70, 80 miles away from the station. So the people funding this station are losing 50 grand a month, and they bought this house where all the presenters live in. And Harvey, what's his name? Harvey Gold, what's his name? He suggested that they go along the route of grow old disgracefully a line, but they've ignored that to be DJs who play whatever music they want, and literally he's like stuck in the 60s with some awful, hey, DJ kind of attitude, and it's dying on the car for it.
Right, okay, well maybe it'll be repeated shortly, something to look forward to.
Catch over it. Nick Ferrari called them a shambles.
Right, okay.
So there we are, your own DJ.
Alright, thanks a lot, Rob.
Doodle pip, I'm going to have to get drunk.
Yeah, and pick a fight, no doubt. This is LBC.
Sunday night from 10.
Idea to get someone else's opinion.
Hey, Jane.
Hello, Nick.
Jane.
Gosh, you're so loud. I don't know if it's my phone or your program or what, but anyway, before I get on to my point, I just want to say how much I love your show.
Thanks, Jane.
I think it's really great and you make me laugh, and my friend Susan loves you.
Well, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you?
Yeah, and last Saturday over Easter, it was Saturday, and we were talking, and she said, Nick Abbott's on now, and I said, I know. Yeah, anyway, I just want to applaud you for your support of this newsreader business.
Thank you.
It's really great for a man to be saying that.
See, Lucy? Arguing with me, she was.
Yeah, I don't understand why she shouldn't be. She's letting us down.
I know.
And I think it's really great that I don't know why you don't have any more, well, why they all have to be dumb, young, bright, young things. Why can't we have an older woman reading the news?
Well, I know, they just tried to edge Moira Stewart out, and everybody was coughing their breakfast up
very good
about
news
that.
Reader, wasn't she?
Yeah, of course, nothing wrong with her.
And I don't know what we can do about it. What can we do about it, Nick?
What can we do about it?
I suppose I could write to someone.
We can demand our right to see ugly birds on TV. Oh no. Now I've gone the wrong way.
It's ageist, isn't it? Don't you think?
It's ageist and sexist, yes.
I mean, there are lots of, I'm 60 now, but I'm like a 40-year-old. I look quite young for my age.
Behind our eyes, we're always 25.
Yes, but I mean, there are lots of good-looking 50-year-olds there. Why can't we have some older women?
Well, why do they have to be just good-looking? Because that's not a criterion that applies to men. Men aren't judged on their looks.
Exactly.
Why are women judged on their looks to get jobs on TV?
I know.
And I'm saying that, and Lucy should have been standing up and applauding me, but instead of that, she was picking a fight.
Yes, and I quite agree with you, and I applaud you for it, Nick, and I just wanted to say that, and good on you, mate.
All right.
I listen to you every Saturday when I can.
Thanks a lot, Jane.
Wonderful, darling.
What a nice lady. Thanks, Jane.
All the best, love.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Right, one more. Derby. Hello, David.
Hello, how are you, Nick?
All right, thanks, yeah.
Yeah, great.
20 seconds to go.
20 seconds, that's got to be quick then, has it? Yeah, I can't see there's a problem with being a lady commentator on a football match. There isn't a problem there. I didn't say that there was. No, I'm just saying that because women can do, or ladies can do, as much as men, and a lot of ladies now are in positions that I would say the men can't do.
Yeah, quite right. The Sunday Express is giving away free CD of... Well, I'll name the songs and you see if you can name the band, all right?
Okay.
All the Things She Said.
Running through my head... that's Tattoo.
What?
Oh. There is a song.
Tattoo?
Yeah, you know that girl group.
Russian faux lesbians.
Yeah.
The Sunday Express isn't going to give away Russian faux lesbian
they did
music.
that song, all the things she said, running through my head.
Alive and Kicking.
Simple Minds.
Simple Minds is the right answer. They're giving away a free CD of Simple Minds. Oh, Struth. And those are the only two songs that anyone's ever heard of. BBC is set to axe its local TV news. About time too.
Oh, you're absolutely jumping for joy now, aren't you?
That is great news. Because the local BBC news, particularly in London, is a repeat of everything you just heard in the main news. Because London, it's, you know, if it happens in London, it's going to make the main news anyway. Plus travel news, which will arrive too late, because if you're seeing the travel at home, then you're not in so it's either too early or too late, so it's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
The weather we'll know on the main news. So the entire thing is ridiculous. The only new information that you get from the local news is a recent death in your area, which doesn't affect you, because if it did, you'd already know about it.
What a local flower show.
Giant waste of money. Regional television news programmes look set to become the victims of the latest huge cost-cutting exercise at the BBC. If only they'd do the same with the radio. Then we'd really be getting somewhere.
That's common. Well, BBC local news, they already cut it down, didn't they, anyway? I mean, now it's just specific to one region, rather than, you know, by county or whatever. So, like, when you go down to my mum's in Dorset, and you watch the BBC local news, it's based in Reading, so everything's about Reading. Right. And there'll be one story outside Reading, because that's where they're based, and everything's Reading-centric anyway. So here's a supermarket that opened in Reading today, because that's where they're based, and everything, you know, they haven't got any reporters anywhere else.
Local TV news, it's just... and you know that they don't talk to the main TV news, because, as I say, they repeat the very same story that you just heard on the main news, because the people who do the main news wouldn't deign to talk to those little people at local news, because they just wouldn't talk to them. So they've got no idea what they're about to follow.
But surely they'd be able to look at their rundowns.
I very much doubt that they would pick up the phone to them.
No, but they must all be on a wire system where they can all see what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, but they're all in competition with each other. They're not all working towards the same goal.
Regional can't compete with national, surely. It would be a pointless exercise.
Yeah, so the national will just ignore them, just bat them to one side.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we're about to go on after you. Are you arguing with me again?
No.
What the hell is wrong with you tonight?
I was just going to say, but then the local just shouldn't bother doing it, should they? They should be the ones to step down.
Yeah, that's what I just said, isn't it?
No, you're saying... Well, no.
Seriously, what is wrong with you today?
Nothing.
Yeah, you're really getting back at me because I was upset about you screwing up my podcast again.
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
Is that a yes?
No.
Oh, now she's playing the injured party.
Yeah.
Come off it, dear. Yeah, right. Now she's going to won't work
now
with
I'll be
me.
sad all week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, the Mail on Sunday. You're usually furious about something, but not much this week. And they're the ones that are giving away tubular bells. The tubular bells from the Mail on Sunday. That doesn't fit at all. Because the tubular bells is hippie. It's a hippie
Want to score some pot?
kind of album.
Yeah.
The Daily Mail is it couldn't be further away from that.
Maybe people don't realise that.
People who buy the Daily Mail don't realise that it's...
No, the Tubular Bells is like that.
Have you heard Tubular Bells?
Yeah.
It's about the hippiest thing this side of Tangerine Dream. This side of Inagada Davida.
It doesn't really float my boat.
No. Let's dive right into the star. Ron's love rival revealed. World exclusive. Ron Ronaldo.
Oh, what, dancing boy?
Dancing boy?
Ronaldo, footballer?
Dancing?
Well, he's got little dancing feet, hasn't he?
Right. He's, young footballer has sex with woman. That's the front page of the Daily Star. And free paintballing for every reader, worth up to 300 quid. Does the Daily Star keep giving away things that you'd actually kind of want?
Yeah. Paintballing hurts, though. Have you ever done it?
No.
You might like it.
Have you done paintballing?
Yeah. I was terrible at it. I just wanted to run away.
I thought I would hate it, and I ended up having the best time ever.
Well, what's to hate about it? It's like playing army, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're running around, and you're in hot.
I just wanted to be out.
It does hurt.
Yeah.
At close range.
I used to be far enough in the distance, but enough that everyone could see me, so they splattered me out straight away.
I shot my best friend in the bottom. That was the best. From a long distance as well. I was really proud of myself.
Where does this sort of thing happen?
You go out to the country and they have big sort of parks where you can do it. But you have quite a lot of rules. You mustn't hit above in the face, must you ever? I can't remember the other rules.
You do feel like you're going on, playing proper army.
Yeah, you kind of put stuff on your face and everything, and you get proper grubby.
What, camouflage?
Yeah.
Yep.
But don't you have something for your eyes? I mean, health and safety will be all over that, surely. You must have some sort of facial protection.
You do, but the trouble is you can never see out of those things.
Right.
You have to be quite agile as well. If you were a gymnast, it would be really helpful. Jumping over the logs.
You have proper camos, yeah, and you're jumping around the place, hiding behind bushes and...
Friends and family fear millionaire music mogul Simon Cowell could be heading for burnout. Ah, poor baby. The 47-year-old has become so in demand, pals are worried that his feet barely touch the ground. I mean, he doesn't have to do a single thing for himself. He must get ferried from job to job, and, he can take time off whenever... And even when he's at work, he's not. I mean, what's he do? What does he actually do at work? It's less stressful than what I do. I mean, I've come up with 3 hours every time I sit down here. He just has to say the same thing over and over and over. I mean, he's not even paying attention when he's at the show, is he? Oh, you sound like somebody I saw on it's like something that you would see in a 3-star hotel cabaret. This is the same thing over and over and over. It's like the entertainment you'd see on a cruise.
Don't they show him often turning up late to the staff?
Well, he was in big trouble this week because he rolled his eyes as somebody was paying tribute to the victims of Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And the director cut to Simon Cowell rolling his eyes as the kid was saying it on the stage.
But he then denied it.
Yeah, much consternation all round. And then the word must have gone from the gallery to Cowell, who shortly afterwards said, "Oh, and I just wanted to reiterate what Chumley was saying on the stage there about those kids. Yeah, we all feel for their loved ones," and all that guff that they come out with. You believe that somebody actually called the Queen up to ask her what she thought? I mean, what's she going to say? "Oh, it's super, I'm dancing over here." Somebody actually called Buckingham Palace. Oh, what does the Queen think? Well, what do you think she thinks? And then the next day on the X Factor, they revisited it.
Oh no, did they?
Yeah, they said, we just want to underline the fact that Simon Cowell wasn't doing that, and he really is, really...
he said he was horrified, didn't he?
Yeah, sure he is. Because he seems like such a nice man. He would never do something like that, would he? Anyway, he is, with a role in the 6th series of American Idol and leading a hand in ITV1's Grease is the Word. What's that like?
I don't watch it.
Apart from the other week when you were watching it.
Well, it's on...
in the office.
Yeah, but it's on Saturday, isn't it? I don't really get a chance. At the corner of my eye.
Cal's also working on Britain's Got Talent. Is that on yet, or is that coming?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Did you see because they this is a thing they ran in America. America's Got Talent, and they basically wanted to get out of everyone just sings on these talent shows, and do other things like I don't know, magic and such like. And the winner looked like the winner of America's Got Talent made Shirley Temple seem not annoying. Oh, this kid screeching away, and if that's the best that American Talent has to offer, then we're in big trouble for that program over here. Because at least when they sing over there, there seems to be some actual talent there. When was the last time that somebody won a contest of singing in this country that could actually hold a note in a bucket?
Well, Will Young did okay, didn't he?
Yeah, that was like about 5 years ago,
Yeah, I
or
suppose it was
more.
quite a long time ago now, yeah.
Since then, we've had Michelle McManus.
That didn't last for very long.
Steve, what's his name? See, exactly, I can't even remember what his name
Brookstein.
is. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Steve Brookstein.
Did he win?
Yes. Who else? I mean, they've all been rubbish.
There was that girl who won last year, is it? Who was a very good singer, but very, very dull. Do you remember?
Well, no. My point
She had
exactly.
a very impressive voice, but just there's no charisma at all, so not really surprised that she hasn't got anywhere.
It's great news for his bank balance, all this work, which has been swelled by £40 million. He made 40 million quid last year. Oh, he must be distraught. Good grief! Look at that. Page. You think David Beckham's got a lot of tattoos? The Daily Star discovers 2 shameless scroungers who've hit the jackpot. Artful Dodger splashes £20,000 on tattoos. A jobless man has spent nearly 20 grand of taxpayers' money getting his entire body covered in tattoos.
Oh.
And it looks just incredible.
On his face?
Biggest boobs, by the way, on this bloke I've ever seen in the Daily Star. They are huge. He's had his entire body done, like David Beckham. David Beckham must have seen Prison Break with that guy who had his tattoos done, and maybe didn't realise that they're actually painted on. He didn't have an actual tattoo on Prison Break. He's got his whole arm done. It must be addictive, that. I think it's the same with piercings. Once you get one done, you just can't stop. Somebody should tell him to stop.
It's a pain-pleasure thing, isn't it? Often they say.
Ex-railway repairman Peter Titcombe. Oh, there you are, you see. He's been out of work for 18 years, but that hasn't stopped him splashing out his benefit money, inking 85% of his skin, including bizarre dragons and geisha girls, and it hasn't stopped on his body. He's got his entire face done as well. The only bits that's not done are his eyes, which are behind ordinary office worker glasses.
Is the ink not poisonous for you if you put so much of it on your skin?
You'd think it's not doing him much good, no.
Because it's penetrated in, isn't it? So.
Hollywood Hellraiser Jack Nicholson is 70 today. Hey, you know who else's birthday it was? I guess we've missed it now. It was Queenie's birthday.
Ah.
We missed it.
Oh dear.
There were no celebrations. There were actually no celebrations. Why were there no celebrations for the Queen's birthday? It was barely even mentioned.
I don't know. Was it definitely?
She was 81.
Oh, yes, well.
Maybe she wanted to keep it quiet, see.
Hollywood Hellraiser Jack Nicholson is 70 today, and 70 sexy starlets are lined up to help him party tomorrow. Here's another guy who never goes anywhere without his sunglasses. He showed up for the Oscars and sat through the whole thing in sunglasses.
I've got mine in my bag.
Must have been off his face. He certainly looked it. It just looked like, I don't know what he was watching behind his glasses, but it didn't look like it was, looked like it was much more entertaining than the Oscars. Take your sunglasses off, mate. It's not sunny inside.
It's not a good look.
Well, go away and come back.
I got the menopause.
The Sunday Telegraph, they're giving away 50 ways to make yourself richer.
Ooh. That could be good. I'd like to be richer.
Improve your financial health with our essential guide. All right, I'm curious.
See, we'd all like to be richer.
Yeah. The trouble is, there's just so much of this extra stuff to go through. And they're all bagged up. That's not saving the planet, is it?
Oh, have you started to watch any of, The Apprentice yet?
No.
Oh.
I won't do it.
You really should.
That silly You're Fired game?
Yeah.
No.
Because they did a really good one the other week, giving them 200 quid and to see what they could do with it.
And what did they do with this?
They were inventing things. Oh no, well, some of them didn't do very well. Went around doing kissograms, and the others were doing gardening, and yeah, it didn't really work out that well. But they did manage to double their money. One of them did.
You're not selling it to me.
Well, it is interesting to watch, partly because some of the ideas that they do aren't very Well, aren't brilliant, I suppose, and they're all kind of fighting amongst each other and arguing and bickering, and, you know, that doesn't really make for a good team. But,
I thought that was the whole point. They had to, you know, bitching and whining and stabbing each other in the back. Isn't that the point of that programme?
Well, I suppose it makes good TV, but it doesn't necessarily make a good employee.
No. Well, I don't think they're really looking for a good employee, are they?
Well,
I mean, it's
Sir
like the
Alan
X-Factor.
seems quite determined.
Yeah, right. It's like the X Factor's not really looking for a good singer. They don't really couldn't care less about the singer. It's just the TV is where the money
Makes a good programme, yeah.
I can't find it. 50 Ways to Make Yourself Richer. It's not in there.
Oh, someone's already got rich. Pinching it.
Well, I guess the one of the ways is that they promise you this thing, and then you find that it's not in your paper, and you have to go and buy another one. 50 Ways to Make the Sunday Telegraph Richer.
Yeah.
Can't find it. Stop coming to work and save the planet, say bosses. For most of us facing gridlock roads and packed trains, the Monday morning commute is more a pressing concern than climate change, but there may be a single solution to both, according to business leaders. The Institute of Directors is calling for flexible hours and more home working to help tackle global warming. You know what, this show could be done from home.
If you could just get an ISDN set up at home.
A lot of people are doing it.
Yeah, they are.
It's almost as cost-effective as automating.
Okay, but let's just say we did that for your programme.
Well, you can't automate talk.
Well, you
unfortunately,
could.
they're trying to figure a way out to do it.
But you could do it from home if you had your little booth
Yeah,
set
absolutely,
up.
yeah.
But Alex would still have to come in and press some buttons here.
Oh. No, he wouldn't. What does he do? Fires in the adverts?
Yes, he'd have to fire in the adverts.
Well, I could do that from home.
Could you?
Just have a one button, yeah. I mean, every station I've ever worked at, I fire the ads in.
We don't let you here, do we?
Nope.
No. Hey, that must be nice.
Have to have a whole
Get to put your
another
feet
person,
up.
yeah.
Makes you special.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my hero, Neil Rogers, a talk show host in America, works on a station in Miami, which he does from another country.
Really?
He lives in Canada.
Wow.
And does it from his commute is from his fridge to the study.
Fantastic.
I know, wouldn't
That's
that be
a great
brilliant?
way to work,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Isn't it just? Mind you, if I didn't have to come in though, if I didn't, then I think I might as well buy myself a wheelchair because I just wouldn't do anything.
Just sit there.
Yeah, all day long.
And also, you might find that, I don't know, you need to get out and about to kind of consume and...
Yeah, and say hello to the world every now and again, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy being forced to come into London occasionally because you do feel as though you should do something else as well because it doesn't take up the whole day.
No.
I mean, you're in and out, barely spend 2 extra minutes in the building than that which you're doing that which you spend on the show. And so you got half a day to do nothing. You go and see art and, you know...
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a very nice way to
buy things, yeah, prop up the economy, that sort of thing. So, yeah, being forced to come in sometimes is for your own benefit. Like,
you must feel you're going to work.
Yeah, like cod liver oil.
Ugh.
Jackie scores on Match of the Day. There you are. Girls have equalised. Jackie Oatley becomes the first woman to commentate on BBC's Match of the Day in its 43-year history. The 32-year-old, who played football as a student at Leeds University, covered Fulham's match yesterday with Blackburn Rovers. No indication of what she was actually like. Anybody see it?
No.
Well, no, you didn't. You were here. But did anybody at home see it? What was she like? I'll have to catch it tomorrow. Ryanair denies baggage scam. MOD accused of cost-cutting on plane. That's not a happy story. Stephen Hawking is going into space. Is that wise? It was the moment Stephen Hawking really let us know what was on his brilliant mind. My next goal is to go into space, he told John Humphreys in a radio interview last year. Street robberies jump in new crime figures. Weren't the Met telling us just last week that no, in fact it was this week, so it was on Thursday, wasn't it? And the figures came out Thursday. They said all crime has dropped through the floor. Almost no crime has been committed in London at all, and it's all thanks to our munificent leadership. And everybody that's living in London is thinking, what? What are they talking about? But, you know, it's just a new way of figuring out statistics. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Yeah. Metrosexual men have healthier hearts. You listening to this, Alex? Ooh. Slap on the moisturiser and swap your overalls for a sarong. Government-funded site... That's a silly way to start an article in the Sunday Times. I know, really.
That's not necessary.
Slap on the moisturiser. Government-funded scientists have found that metrosexual men who are in touch with their feminine side have lower stress levels and are less likely to have heart attacks.
Ooh.
You listening to this, Alex?
No, I'm reading the story about some meteors.
Oh. What, heading our way?
No, I thought it might be, but no, apparently we could see up to 25 shooting stars an hour in the sky tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've missed them all. But maybe we can get them later.
Well, we're going through the tail of a comet or something.
It says the annual Lyrid meteor shower will happen between 2:45 this afternoon and 1:45 tomorrow morning.
As in 1:45 now?
Yeah, I guess.
So in other words, we are going through the tail of a comet. And my question to you is, what the hell are you doing reading that when you're supposed to be listening to this excellent show?
Well, I'm multitasking.
The researchers found that the incidence of coronary heart disease was significantly lower among men who expressed their feelings and regarded themselves as sensitive than among those who bottled up their emotions, which might be true, except I express my feelings and I regard myself as sensitive.
What?
And I almost always have to hook myself up to a machine that goes beep. I've got wires coming out of me every time I go to bed. This has nothing to do with being camp or gay. In psychology, these people would be called expressive, but being in touch with your feminine side is exactly the right description, says Professor Kate. Society should not be discouraging young boys and men to express their feelings as it is affecting their health. Hunt and a team reached their conclusions after interviewing a boatload of people. Their health and personal circumstances were assessed, and each was given masculinity and femininity scores. In other words, don't bottle it up, let it out.
Much better. Have a good cry.
The News of the World exclusive. Lineker falls for beauty queen. Is he married still, or did that all break up?
I think that broke up. I'm almost certain, actually.
Shameful. Front page of the News of the World. Boozy Navy hostage makes a mockery of Iraq hero's sacrifice. This is the sickening moment. An Iran hostage sailor heaped disgrace on the Navy in Britain by drunkenly making fun of his ordeal in a club. It's the kid that the Sun got. The Mirror, because the Sun got the woman, so
yeah.
the Mirror got the leftovers basically, and they got the kid with the iPod.
Yes.
Now he's a disgrace. Oh yeah, right. Now he's a disgrace. He's been fooling around like a kid does in a nightclub, and he's on the front page of the News of the World. So the Sun builds them up, and the News of the World will knock them down. Yeah. Same stable. Feeling goody. Goody grief. There is Jade busting out all over. Holy macaroni.
Why, are they extra large at the moment?
Absolutely ginormous.
Good
Take your eye out. Kylie makes Christmas comeback on Doctor Who.
Really?
What is the obsession with Kylie Minogue in this country? Do you understand that?
Everybody loves her, don't they?
I don't get it.
I'm neither way, really.
Everything she's ever recorded could have been done by anybody else. It's completely anonymous music. It could have been done by anybody.
But I think people know that, don't they? But they like the whole image of Kylie. You know, she's sort of a wholesome, good fun girl, isn't she? Who performs well and she...
Is she? Because the videos that I've seen of her, she looks like a stripper. Not too wholesome to me.
Oh, well... Yeah, but that's just for the videos, isn't it? But I think she's...
Yeah, but that's her image.
Well, it is, but she's always very friendly and smiley and...
Smiley Kylie.
Smiley Kylie.
Bland again, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Bland.
In other words, she's just like a beige facade on which men can project anything. Because I'm sure that she doesn't come up with any of this stuff. She doesn't direct her own videos. She doesn't choose her costumes, or in fact have any say of anything in any way. People give her the songs. People produce her to sound like that. People direct her in a video. She just I imagine she just stands there and says, okay, yeah.
She's
right.
probably quite savvy now, though. I mean, she's done extremely well, so she must be fairly business savvy, don't you think?
Well, or her manager is, would be my prediction.
Maybe.
I mean...
Bit of both.
It's just a brand, isn't it? She's not a particularly good singer, she's not a particularly good dancer, she's not a particularly good actress, she's kind of like Madonna light.
Yeah.
Madonna isn't any of those things. Well, Madonna can dance right enough, but she isn't any of those things either. But I just get the feeling that there's a bit more meat to Madonna. Kylie is just like, I don't know. I just don't get it. Anyway, she's going to be joining Doctor Who for a Christmas special. Isn't that exciting?
No.
Randy Gary's saucy text to New Beauty. Do you fancy a crispy duck? And he wasn't asking her out for a Chinese. I'll let you...
oh, no.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, dear me.
Freddie's missus scores a 4. Hey, the England cricket team that just won a cricket match. I've half heard it in the news. I'm not really remotely interested in cricket. It's a silly sport. But they just won something. Hallelujah, eh, Alex? Have you ever been so excited?
Bouncing off the walls. Isn't that after the coach just quit as well?
Did he?
I think so.
Oh. It's terrible, really, isn't it?
Oh, you love the cricket.
No interest at all. There's not a lot going on. Every time I go through the Sunday papers, I must glance through 1,000 pages every Sunday, and I come away with a conclusion every week. Nothing happening, really, no.
Maybe it's the supplements that we need to pour through.
Yeah, you might be right there, yeah.
Often you get some more meaty kind of stuff, don't you?
My secret trysts on set. Former EastEnder. Oh, stop reading there, I've got no idea who you are. Oh, blimey, is it that time already?
Well, it is.
Well, I've got a lot of work to do this coming week. I'm going to be sitting at home, listening to my free Tubular Bells album.
Groovy.
I know, I can barely wait. I'll be thinking of the milk round while I'm doing it. Ah, memories what memories, eh? So, Bill Buckley is next, and I'm back next Saturday, yes, or whenever you like, on our Super Soaraway podcast service.